So this bloke said to me, he once got a dog to retrieve a stick from almost 100 miles away. You know what? I thought that was a bit far-fetched. I was thinking the other day, actually, I don't actually like my hands because I always keep them at arm's length.
No. Not having that one.
No. that needs work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, all right then. I went to the doctor and he wrote me a prescription for daily sex, but my wife insists it's just for dyslexia.
Dyslexia. Never have to say you're Cyro.
Nice. Right.
Did you hear about the dyslexic devil worshipper? Sold his soul to Santa?
Nice.
Or the dyslexic pimp that bought a warehouse? Oh, we're going to hell now. That's it. That's all our dyslexic listeners have gone.
No.
Let's stop now before we start the leper jokes.
Oh, no. Hang on. I got one more.
Lepers, you say? Well.
Lepers, you say? Well, allow me to turn to page 52 of my dad joke book. No. I was going to say, Lisa said I was a superhero today. I proudly said to her, which one? And she said, Spider-Man. I said, why? Because he's strong, noble, selfless? And she goes, no, because he gets trapped in a bath.
What the fuck?
Think about it. Anyway, hello, everyone. Welcome to Black Dog 183. I'm Lee.
I'm Darren.
I'm Jim.
I'm Elton.
And this week, we'll see how everyone's week's been. We'll have a little bit of feedback for last week's episode, which was Paddington 2. And then we'll move on to this week's movie, which is Elton's choice, which is...
It was my choice, and it is Corner Office.
Corner Office. It's going to be one. I think it's going to be an interesting discussion.
Very.
So, before we get to the existential dread of living your life through someone else's eyes and watching your entire life being played out on screen, let's get on to how everyone's week's been. So let's start with you, Jim. How's it been, sir?
Frankly, appalling.
Oh, shit.
I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's been just, I'm just like I just had enough. I just want to go in a bunker and hide for a bit.
Oh, Christ.
Well, I say our dog was ill,
Mm.
so that was a trip to the vet, which wasn't too expensive, thankfully. And she was on a course of antibiotics, which did sort the problem.
Lovely. That's the main thing.
But after last week's show, it means I was sat up with her because I knew she was wanting to go every 2 hours. So I was up at 2 a.m. taking her for a walk, and then again at 6.
Oh, God.
So I was the rest of it being rather sleep deprived.
Mm.
Catherine mentioned our car. We had a problem with the car sensor.
Yes, yeah, you did, yeah.
Yeah, the sensor turns out was what's a technical term? It was a triple F situation.
Oh,
the fucking fucker was fucking fucked. And to replace it, you don't even know how much it was.
oh God. Oh, it's one of those.
I
Is it?
see.
900 quid they wanted to replace it.
What does this sensor do?
Oh, it monitors the fuel. It's the really important one.
So
What,
you
the
can't
fuel
just look at
gauge?
the dial. You can't just go.
I'll beat you there.
no,
I'll beat you.
there's
I'll beat you to
fuel.
that one.
That's it. All cash in on Jim's misery. That's it. Everyone dive in. Yep, go
Why
on.
not? We do it with Elton each week, so we might as well.
That is
Give Elton a rest.
that-
It's your week off, Elton.
It's Jim's turn. So 900 quid for a fuel tank. Get a sensor.
Well, no, we didn't actually pay that because
Mm.
we took it and traded it in instead.
The whole car.
Yes.
Oh, good Lord. Right. Okay.
We would have got more for it hadn't been for that fucking sensor,
Mm.
obviously. But at least we got something for it. Because frankly, it's list price. It wasn't worth repairing.
Oh, right.
Oh,
The
right.
age it was,
Mm.
literally. But it did mean I am now quite a few grand later. And all the money I've managed to
Ouch.
save up is now gone.
Oh, these
So I'm
things come
doing
in
that.
threes. Lee's had a cargo. Jim's had a cargo. Oh, God.
I've had my leg go.
Yeah.
Mm. French
I bought
people,
some Lego.
French people have had some escargot.
Yep.
Oh God! Right.
Well, the car we've got is very light on sensors, and that was a deliberate choice.
No, I bet it bloody well was.
Is it a unicycle?
No, it's not a unicycle, but it's German and reliable.
Ah, nice.
So
Mm. Okay.
it's very nice. It's also the dealer we go to.
Mm.
Basically, the whole family have been using them, and we've never had a bad car from him.
Mm.
And
Oh, that's
what's more,
good.
the car is completely freshly MOT'd, freshly taxed, and under warranty for 12 months. Anything fucks off, I'm not paying
Yay!
in the next 12 months, which is like, thank fuck for that.
Nice.
However, so we got over that hurdle and we got the car Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Then Monday tea time, I was washing up and the sink didn't drain.
Ugh.
Yeah, my drain's blocked again.
Right.
Now, if listeners must remember, I had this problem at the start of October last year.
Mhm.
It shouldn't be fucking blocked.
No.
And when I had a poke around in the absolute filth that was like just swilling up,
Mm.
what pops up? One of those fucking cleaning wipes. Which
Oh,
means
no.
some twat somewhere is flushing them. And because basically my drains got blocked at the start of October. I called a man out. He cleaned them out. They were clean as a whistle. They shouldn't be blocked again.
Mm.
And I know the lady next door, funnily enough, week before last, she had to have her drains cleaned out.
Oh.
So there's something is on the wonk somewhere. But because the water board won't do it. They go, well, the drain's on your property. Well, of course it is a fucking drain, isn't it?
Mm.
But you run the water system, don't you, dickheads?
Yeah.
The sewers are yours. If there's a problem in the sewers, that is your problem.
Yeah. Don't worry. They're handing out money to their shareholders rather than spending it on
Exactly.
fixing the
Yeah.
systems.
Or
Mm.
doing anything.
Mm.
It's like, oh, report a problem, and then say, we're not doing anything. Well, thanks for that. Brilliant. But so I've got my man coming out again. He was supposed to come today, but of course he didn't.
Mm.
So that wasn't great.
Ugh.
But in fairness, the first time I rang him last year, I rang him and he turned up 2 hours later.
Nice.
I rang him this morning and he was just on another job. And he said, I'll ring you when I finish.
Oh, right.
And get over. But today, he said, no phone call.
Oh, shit.
You win some, you lose some. So last time, he's literally, within 3 hours of ringing him, it was all done and dusted, which is rare for tradesmen. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'll be playing that game again tomorrow.
Yeah.
But hopefully get it fixed and find out what the problem actually is. But as I say, it's kind of, I think there's something on the wonk with the main sewer line. Well, it's been backing up.
Well, I was going to say, and this. If I'm going to just interrupt here with this tiny story. But if anybody's eating anything, perhaps maybe skip forward about 5 minutes. I'd recommend that now. But my parents' house, their house is only like 35 years old from new, and the long and the short of it was that the 4 houses that were built on the site were built on the site of a single house, which was an old stately home and got knocked down. Anyway, the long and the short of it was that one house only had one occupant and only had one tiny drainage out into the street. Unfortunately, now some clever bastard cut some corners and then stuck 4 houses on that drain. So every now and again, probably about once every sort of like year or so, suddenly my brother has this fantastic job of having to get like a guy he knows with a bunch of rods and goes to the end of my mum's drive, lifts up the cover, only to discover an entire street's worth of shit backed up into a tiny pipe about the size of an exhaust pipe. It's like, oh my god,
Jesus!
And packed up with the lid of the drain on the imprint of it.
Oh
well.
god, yeah. It all comes up in a single lump. I mean, it just no. I mean, it's like It's like one of those Play-Doh things where you turn the handle and all the hair comes out the top of the guy's head.
Play-Doh barbershop.
Play-Doh
MDF
barber.
down there, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So, so maybe you just want to just get your guy to look at the end of the street. Is probably, if your street's on a slope, especially go to the end go down to the lower end and look at the nearest drain.
Yeah. Well, we're like on a block of like 4 or sort of 5 buildings on their own, and they weren't all one building at once, but we are on a slight slope, and I think it's the fucking cretins who live 2 doors up at the end of the street, who I had problems with before with barking dogs. And I know of late, certainly I've noticed they seem to be running some sort of informal creche for their mutant spawn.
Oh no!
And so I'm thinking, is there someone there? It's wet wipes and flush a go-go.
Yep.
But because we're slightly sort of downhill, he's backing up. Not there.
What's the bet? There's a disposable nappy in that pipe.
Probably, I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't at all be surprised.
I don't understand grown-ups sometimes. Why can't they read that you don't flush these things down the toilet and then not flush them down?
Oh, because
Exactly.
doing
The first
stuff.
time it happened, I found one of those wipes. And literally, I know for a fact the whole system was cleaned out right to the end to my property. And so there's no, we don't use them and we don't flush them. So it came from elsewhere. And if I find out where, I'll be doing some deliveries of my own.
What you need
Return to sender.
What you need is one of those juicers. You know, one of those Nutri-Bullets. Just put it in the actual drain. As soon as anything touches it, I'll take care of it.
I was like 1980s waste disposal units.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm not best because that's going to cost me yet more money I don't have to get
Jesus.
this sorted out.
Oh God.
And if it is a problem on the mainland, I can clean it back off the waterboard, but God knows how long that'll take.
Yeah.
And whether it's worth my stress levels or just to write it off.
Well, that's what they count on. That's the problem.
Exactly.
Great. So shitting dog, shit car, new car, and poo. I think poo is generally the overall theme of your week, Jim. Am I right?
Pretty much. It has been shit.
It has been shit.
Sounds like a really enough kung fu film, doesn't it? That shitting dog flooding pipe. the low budget sequel to Hidden Tiger, Crouching Dragon, or whatever the fuck it was called.
Oh wow!
Crouching Tiger, Floating Chair.
That's the one. Yes.
crouching, crushed up tissue, floating poo log. Right. Okay. Anything else, sir?
No. Well, not really.
Oh, fair enough.
That's my number one whinging for the week.
I was kind of waiting for you to go say, "Oh God, I hope not." Cool. Okay, then we'll move to you then, Elton. How's your week been, sir?
It's been fairly busy. Quite a lot of work going on, and had Jacob and Maddie up for the weekend, which was lovely to see them. So, hooray for that. But we've been watching Clarkson's Farm, the third season.
Oh, yeah.
Recently. We sit down for dinner and put an episode on, and normally I get about halfway through it and then have to go do the washing up, and I'll sit down and watch the whole thing later on.
Yeah.
But there was an episode. I'm reluctant to spoil it for anyone. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone.
Okay.
But be warned, there is an episode that made me feel very uneasy. Very, very uneasy. I love this series.
Right.
But there's one... do I say it? Yeah, I do. Yes.
Okay. I'll tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler zone for the next 5 minutes. So hold on.
Euphemism.
Put your helmet on. We'll be reaching speeds of 3.
Right, there you go. 5 minutes from now. Go.
Are you guys all right if I mention something? It's just a light-hearted thing, but
Go on.
it happens on a farm, and so he's got pigs, and he's breeding these pigs, and some have babies, and then the mother sits on the babies, and I'm like, fucking hell, I can't do this anymore. I really can't do this. This is awful. And then the worst bit is absolutely heartbreaking. I'm struggling to actually say it, but they induce one of the pigs.
Right.
This isn't fun at all. I shouldn't be saying this. Why am I doing this?
You committed now on go.
I have.
Go.
Yeah, no,
on there. Yeah.
Yeah, the pig has the babies, but clearly this pig was not should never have been induced at all. And it's like, oh no,
oh no,
oh no.
Oh, I don't even want to know the aftermath.
No, you don't. It's I had to walk away. I had to walk away. I would not make it as a farmer. There's no way I would make it as a farmer. But it was so heartbreaking. Now, there are emotional episodes all the way through these series.
Right.
There's some light-hearted ones, and there's some... A lot of it is like the old Top Gear, where you think, yeah, this is a bit staged, isn't it? They've got a bit of equipment. Oh, let's have a bit of a jolly with this. And look, they're making a TV show. It's great. But then you get to the serious stuff and the heartbreaking stuff. And yeah, this is a moment where it's, do you know what? I'm quite glad I've got quite a lot of washing up to do, because I don't want to be anywhere near this.
Oh,
and
God.
I asked Kimmy after she'd seen it, and I asked, what was going on there? And she went, yeah, you're probably better off just leaving at that time. I went, okay. Thank you very much. I'm really glad I left at that moment. So,
okay. Oh, God.
Please, if anyone goes in to watch this, be aware your heart will be broken and you will be left hollow inside for a number of days after. It's
Wow.
gut-wrenching. Absolutely gut-wrenching.
If someone had said to me that Clarkson Farm was going to be the most emotional thing you've watched in the last year, I would not have taken that bet. But
no, there you go.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting it either. Look, there are some emotional episodes, and you do sit there going, "Oh," and obviously some animals have to go off to slaughter in the first couple of seasons, and that's an eye opener. That's an eye opener that we need sometimes, and it's interesting. It's once again heartbreaking, but it's something you kind of need, really. You need to see both sides of the story and what this job actually entails. But there's other things where you do question, really should be putting that on there? I don't know if you should have actually put that on there. It's like watching someone put a tweet on and go, maybe you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. But there is no delete button. There is no delete button at all.
There is a stop button, though.
There is a stop button, but that you think from the other side there might be a stop button, but I'm guessing we're all desanitized from that shit anymore now, aren't we?
I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, This wasn't fun at all. Why am I doing this? Quick,
it's all right,
get rid of me.
It's all right. You got one more. You got 30 seconds left to talk about it before we hit the 5-minute mark.
I've got nothing else to say. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Okay, well,
that'll be all right.
Just is this your long-winded way of telling us that you're about to go vegan?
Oh God, no! Oh no!
I mean, it hasn't traumatized you that much, then?
No, it hasn't traumatized me to the point of veganism. God, no.
Right, there you go. that always makes me laugh. It's like, oh my God, it's the most terrible things happen to these poor animals. Do you want a bacon sandwich? Fuck yeah.
Yeah. As I'm talking into my shepherd's
How
pie.
quickly it changes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's really sad that these things happen to these creatures, but you know what? If they didn't taste so damn good.
Exactly, yes.
It's such a shame. God almighty. Right. Well, yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There was Darren, quickly. Have you got anything funny to say? Say something funny. Jump in. You normally do.
Funny. I just as you're sitting there eating your bacon sandwich with the grease raining down your chin. Oh fuck it! Wait a minute! I've just got to get some cloths. Just got to hide my shirt. Fucking hell!
Yeah. It's a bit like the Yorkshire Vet. Have you ever seen that?
The Yorkshire
No.
Vet.
Oh, good Lord. Okay. Basically, play Yorkshire. It's on, I think it's either on Channel 5 or Channel 4. And it's essentially, it's like the real James Herriot type thing, sort of like all creatures great and small. And he's a vet that goes between farms. So you got all those kind of things. Now, my mum, bless her, she loves anything medically procedural. So like super vet, 24 hours in A&E, super surgeons, all of that kind of stuff. Anything that involves something being cut up and tendons being tied to something else that they shouldn't have been tied to. She is in for that kind of shit all the time. She always said she always wanted to be a nurse or a doctor or something like that. Anyway, so she's fascinated by it. But I tell you what, sometimes when I'm working late, I go, before I leave the house, I sort of go and make sure she's okay, and I switch all the computer off, and she's watching something like Yorkshire Vet. I don't know a single time where I've watched Yorkshire, where I've walked past and she's watching that, where the guy isn't up to his fucking armpits in cow's arse.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what. I mean, I know that cows make up a large amount of the livestock on a farm, but it's one of those. It's unusual that I've seen this guy up to his elbows in cow fanny twice, and I've only seen the scene 5 minutes from two completely different episodes, and yet somehow he's always there. Somehow he's always trying to dung out some poor animal's rectum with a glove and a pit helmet.
Now, you say that. I don't know why this has happened on my
What?
Facebook thing, but I keep hang on. yes,
Steady.
big fannies keep jumping up in front. No.
Right, okay.
Okay. This is taking a turn.
No. I keep getting like the video things keep suggesting the Hoof Doctor.
Oh no.
Hoof Doctor.
Yeah. Now this is a guy, right? He goes in and looks after the hooves of cows on the farms, and when they trim off all the stuff, and sometimes they have a little blemish, and I'm getting quite good at going, there's a little blemish there, and you've probably got some sort of lesion under there. And then he's squeezing it on top, and he's like, oh, this is going to be good. And then they nick it, and then like pus squirts out. You're like,
Oh, my God.
that's amazing.
Oh no.
Oh, it looks so good.
Do you know what's really amazing is we've just spoken for the last 20 minutes about poo, about sticking your arm up a cow.
You talk about a zit and a hoof, and Lee's like, "Oh no, you've crossed the line, McManus. You've crossed the line.
A line must be drawn here, no further. And
I challenge you to a duel, sir. I'll meet you on the field of battle for your insult. How about you,
So, what was this show again? Doctor Hoof?
Doctor?"
Doctor Who.
It's funny enough because this cow is bigger on the inside than he is on the outside.
Da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum.
Step inside my cow-dis.
Oh, I'm gonna have to find out what it's
Dum
called.
dum
now.
da dum dum da dum dum da dum dum da dum dum. Moo moo.
Where did I leave my sonic screwdriver?
Dun-dun-dun-dun, 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 dun-dun-dun-dun.
It's the Hoof GP. There we go.
The Hoof GP.
Yeah.
You just know that he'd want to quote Doctor Hoof, but someone said, no, you're not doing that.
That's brilliant. Should be. Why is it not called that?
Yeah. The 16th Doctor took a strange turn, I'm telling you now.
You know what? All this is just putting me in mind of the Doctor that used to be on the League of Gentlemen, Dr. Chinnery. Dr. Chinnery. You always used to be like, let's have a look then. Oh, yes. Oh, look, it's a little sunny here. Oh, yes. What we'll do is we'll just snip this bit off here. Yeah, the scissors go and bang! And it'd be silence. You'd be like, oh, dear. And it would always be the same way. That was his catchphrase. Oh, dear. Yes, I think you better get a mop and bucket. Sonny appears to have gone to pieces. Oh dear. Oh no.
Shall I share you some of his videos?
No,
Oh,
no, just no. Absolutely
No.
fucking not. Where are these videos? Because I usually have to put the media thing down on the show notes. Where is it?
Oh, just go to Facebook and go to the Hoof GP. There we go.
Hoof GP Facebook.
Yeah.
Just go to Elton's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow I'm off to buy a cow and do my own videos. This one doesn't seem to be lame yet.
Yes.
Yes.
Welcome to Hugh Hefner or Hugh Heifer. Hugh Heifer's Big Boy Mansion. Oh, good lord! Right, okay. God.
Cow Police, Frisian.
Moo Hefner.
Moo Hefner. Moo Heifer. Anyway. Good lord.
Anyway,
Right.
that's my week.
That's your week. Farmyard animals. Elton's love of the farmyard animals and things that are excreted or input into them.
I'm sure there's
Wow.
a film about that. No.
Just
Don't Google it.
do
Don't Google it.
not
Don't Google it.
even think about Googling
What's
it.
that film he mentioned? Let's see. Putting things in cows on a farm.
Boom, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Tss. Anyway, right. Let's not. Darren,
Yes.
how was your week, sir?
Well, it certainly wasn't me sticking my fist up a cow's backside. So
Well, that's a plus.
that's a plus.
I
Yes,
think.
yeah, we're already on a winner.
I think this week's looking up.
It is.
Go on.
It is. So this week I did go to watch music and shit at Wembley. Wembley. I went to see the band Garbage.
You were well enough to go, yes?
Yes, yeah, I was. That was it.
Yes.
I was clear of the old COVID about a day before, 2 days before. That was it. It was like it kept myself away from everybody. Fortunately, it did go. I mean, it was past the time limit anyway. It's like, I think it lasted over like 5 days, 6 days, something like that. So I was past the marker. And fortunately, well enough to go. So I've got to say, people in Wembley are not the happiest people at all.
Because they're in Wembley.
Yeah, because I think that's what it fucking well must be, right? Because
Yeah.
what we got there, nobody smiles.
Oh.
Nobody smiles at all for any reason whatsoever.
Oh, Dow.
Right?
I think you're paranoid.
No, very funny. Oh yeah, you're so clever. No, they just don't. I don't know what's fucking going down in Wembley, but yeah, they just don't. And
Are you
if
talking
you're
about the punters or the people working there?
just everybody, the people who live there, people who residents,
Because there's a
smile
flaming
at all.
concert next to their houses.
could
Yeah.
very well be.
I was going to
You
say,
know?
when 60,000 people just come stomping past your house every
Yeah.
week, yeah, you kind of,
I suppose you do. You do.
you have to just
But,
take
Have that the the Socia there, the football as well.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh fucking hell, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the music crowds are bad. At least they don't shit on your lawn.
No. No.
Yeah, you just got to.
While stabbing each other with Stanley knives.
Well, it
Yeah.
depends on what band's playing.
Well, that's
so,
true.
you know,
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, you know.
Those Simon and Garfunkel fans, they're fucking rough, man.
I
Seriously.
mean, fucking just you get out of town if Coldplay's in. I'll tell you that now.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess the problem, what they have to do, they have to realise that the trick is just to keep breathing.
Yeah, just to survive. That's it. Just to survive completely. So got to Wembley.
Yeah, go on.
And stayed.
Mm.
This hotel we stayed in, it was Wembley International, right?
Mm.
And you know when you kind of round the corner and see where you're going to stay, and you think, oh, it looked like it needed a bit of repair work on the outside. So I thought, all right, well, look, you can see they're trying to do something with it, and it got inside. And I got a distinct impression that 10 minutes ago this had been an office block, you know, and that it was a quick conversion. You know, I mean, Garbage do a song called Queer, which has got the lyric "Queerest of the Queer." This was the cheapest of the cheap, because this was, I mean, the furniture, everything, the decor. Suddenly, it was just like, man, this was done on a very, very small budget.
Yes,
wasn't it? So anyway, we got the card and everything from the person at reception. They sent us through. It goes right through that door, third lift. You want to take that? That's when it goes up to the 9th floor.
Right.
And we got out there to where the third lift is, and I'm not joking. I thought we'd walked into a fucking stockroom. There are boxes of shit all over the place. And it's like, no, there's a lift over there. It just really didn't seem like much of an effort was put in, you know. Right. So we got in the lift, went up to the room, sort of like set our stuff out and everything. Went to go get ready. We go have a shower, and I noticed I got 2 bites on my fucking ankle, and they looked fresh.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Now I don't know whether it was in the room or whether it was outside, so I can't say. But we were like, all right, if we're going to sleep on this bed, we're sleeping on top of it. That's it. So we did that. Slept on top. It was just like, you know, if you peer too far behind the curtain, it's like, well, I'm going to see the other side of the set that this feels like this is. This feels like, you know, somebody's just put this room together.
Yes.
Right now. It really felt like that. I haven't felt this uncomfortable in a hotel room since way back in the early 2000s, I think it was. I stayed in a place in Brighton, right? I looked for a cheap hotel, right?
Yeah.
They were staying out there for work, right? And the carpets were threadbare in this place. There was like holes in the carpet, and you had to put 50p in a meter to get electricity, right? Okay. Now, this wasn't the only thing. Went down for breakfast the next morning. Bloke brings out a plate of egg and bacon, and I'm not joking. You know, when you taste the bacon, you think, this ain't bacon.
This is human.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sitting there like, I think this is human flesh I'm eating.
Were you in the real life version of Hostel?
I think I must have.
Was there a guy walking around with a pig mask on?
Yeah, there was. I'm sure I saw a glimpse of him there. But I had that, not as bad as that, but it was verging on it, you know. But then we looked at this is just a bed. That's all it is. This is just a place for us to come back to after the concert, right? So, fortunately, went off to the concert, which was like it was about a 5-minute walk to Wembley Arena. That was it. It was just round the corner, and there we were. We were in the place. absolutely fantastic concert. The actual bands that they had supporting them as well were really good, especially the first one. It was Lucia and the Best Boys, this group is. And I was sold on this group within the first 10 seconds of the first tune.
Right.
Especially with her vocals as well. She put me in mind of a cross between Annie Lennox and Susie Sue from Susie and the Banshees.
Right.
Fuck me. She was powerful. Yeah, man, set of pipes on her. Really, really good. I'm going to be getting their first album because they haven't been around for that long. They've had their first major deal. And the other band that was on, another female-led band, was it was called Jenny Bath.
Oh, yeah.
And it was very much in the frame of Nine Inch Nails.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, there was only 3 people on stage, but fuck me, were they loud. Right? Auditorium just filled. And the great thing was the lead singer actually got out and really interacted with the crowd down the front as well. Really got right in there with them, actually climbed into the actual enclosure out there and just, went through the crowd themselves. Really, really good. And then, of course, we had Garbage themselves, who were absolutely fantastic. Really, really good. They were. Shirley Manson was taken a bit by surprise by the reception she got as well, because as she explained, she goes, "Look, I know I keep going on about I'm living in a dream, sitting up, but I've got to explain." She said, "Every time we've come to London, it's been shit." She said, "Everywhere else we go, fantastic. The reception's great. Everybody loves us. We come to London, and it's always the same thing." And she goes, "This is such a turnaround from what we're used to coming here." And yeah, they just really, really played well. The sort of like the whole light show and stuff like this. Everything about the show was fantastic. So really, really enjoyed that. So
nice.
There you go. So anybody's if they ever do tour again, because it was the last night of the tour.
Oh, right.
If they go out again, I highly recommend them.
Okay.
Really, really do. And I mean, Shirley Manson's quite a rock legend anyway.
And she was
quite
a
a
Terminator.
female icon in the whole music business.
Yes, indeed.
She was a Terminator. Yep, I've been watching clips of that as well. It's like, fuck me, I never got round to seeing season 2 of that show, and I wish I had. You know? So a little bit of a different Terminator. Her mission was actually, I think it's against Skynet, but not in the sort of Terminator 2 style way. This was for something completely different.
Am I having a stroke, or did I remember the fact that she actually, the first time you were introduced to her, she's one of those T-1000s, but she's disguised as a toilet or a urinal and stabs a geezer through the
Yeah, she's fucking straight through the bollocks or something like this. But yeah,
I mean,
like...
it's different. I mean, you don't have to all look like Arnie, do you?
No, exactly.
I'm a urinal. All right, fair enough.
There's clips of her walking through a facility and just taking everyone out with like these bladed hands that she's got. So but yeah, Shirley Manson, fantastic, absolutely brilliant. So there was that. So well worth the money.
Cool,
highly recommend it. Let's see, what else have I been watching recently? For some reason, I got into this. I've watched one episode, and I've just been picking up more episodes on YouTube. That's just gone on. And it's the Peter Serafinowicz show. I've been rewatching bits of that and absolutely loving the stuff that I've seen on there, like the Butterworth stuff, Butterworth Detective Agency. Yes, with my wealth of disguises, I can get in anywhere. Firefighter, bullfighter, croupier with a hat on. That kind of. What is it? Cleaning gun, or whatever the hell it was called.
Oh yeah.
Hi, I'm Derek Bum.
Isn't that the one that also comes with the Dalek Yuletide Christmas tunes or something?
I think so. He's done some really. He does some real quite outlandish sort of characters on there, like the very camp estate agent who's talking to the wife as they're going around the house, and she's like, "Oh, I like this," and she's like, "Yeah, it's fantastic. You should really go buy this place." And then the husband pipes up and says, "Well, I don't really like this," and he suddenly turns it on and goes, "Did I ask you? Did I ask you?" And it's just like, "What? Did I ask you? Did I ask you?" And then he goes back to being camp again.
Oh, right.
So there's, just real crazy characters. He's Terry Wogan stuff. He does an absolutely top class Terry Wogan impression.
Right.
If anybody wants a quick example of it, look up the when he was on the Jonathan Ross show with Terry Wogan, and he does an impression of Terry Wogan in front of Terry Wogan, and Terry Wogan's sitting there giggling his ass off at it. And he's just spot on. So, at the Actors Studio with Michael Caine, I like to get in the shot behind the actor that I'm talking to. It shows this film with him, but behind Bob Hoskins, and then he's behind himself as well. You've got to keep in the shot. Always have the attention put on you.
Nice.
So yeah, the whole series is on YouTube. You can just look it up, and there's whole episodes out there. But yeah. Fantastic stuff.
Awesome.
Let's see what else. One other thing, also Star Trek Prodigy Season 2, which personally is the much more preferable animated Star Trek show than that other thing that's out there, which we won't mention. Really enjoying that. I thought the first season was absolutely fantastic. Didn't give themselves much room to refer back to old Star Trek stuff because it's 5 individuals from different races that weren't even in the Federation. They're so far outside of it. They find a Federation ship and they have to escape this prison camp that they're in, and so they're on the run from this person chasing them. And the only real link back to any kind of Star Trek stuff is that Janeway is the hologram. She's on there teaching them how to fly the ship and stuff like this, and she's like a Starfleet training program on there. But as she's there, like the Doctor used to be on Voyager, she starts gaining sentience as she goes on, so she becomes more human as she goes, and it's really good. It was just a lovely little dynamic on the ship.
Cool.
So season 2, absolutely brilliant. Loving it so far, and just piling through the episodes on that.
And what's that
on? That's on Paramount.
Oh, right.
Oh no, sorry, Netflix. What am I talking about? It's on Netflix. They're on Netflix now.
Okay.
So
cool.
Nice. Get thee to Netflix and have a watch.
Well,
I think both seasons on there. I know season 2 has been brought to Netflix. Yeah.
I might have a look at it at some point.
The sort of like one of the main characters in it is a little bit annoying. But I mean, I enjoyed it. Like I say, it's not like Lower Decks that relies on you having to have watched every single Star Trek show to get a joke about, oh yeah, Mr. Spock's hanky, it is here. Something like that. And apparently, in Lower Decks, there's only been about 5 captains in Starfleet ever.
Yeah.
And about 3 ships. So, yeah, it doesn't do that. I think it mentioned the Cerritos in one episode, Cerritos. But, Admiral Janeway is in season 2, but there's only... what is it? They haven't got she hasn't got the whole cast of Voyager on the ship with her. She's got a brand new crew. So that's it. And I think the hologram Doctor's there as well, but that's about it. But it mainly relies on its own. It mainly relies on its own power to get to where it needs to be.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Wonderful. So that's it from me. Yeah, it's wonderful. Super duper.
Super and indeed duper. Right. Okay. Well, for my week, I had an interesting one where my dad's cousin turned up and dropped around to see my mum, and
All right.
he brought with him a load of stuff that he found in the loft that he thought that I might be interested in, and I was like, yeah, okay, thinking it was going to be like family heirlooms or some kind of tat or something.
Big sovereign.
Yeah,
Big sovereign ring.
or something. Yeah, exactly. Big old sovereign, lovely. Yeah, or the head of my dad's first victim. You know, that sort of thing.
This was the skull of his most hated enemy.
Yeah, this was the guy
Whoa.
he kept in the boot for the last 16 years. No, anyway, so I thought, oh right, okay, let's have a look at this. Anyway, I opened up the garage, and what he's brought back is, and I quote, I'm going to go back in date order. A boxed, fully functional PlayStation 2.
Fuck off, really?
Yep. A boxed, fully functional PlayStation 1.
Whoa.
A boxed, fully functional Sega Master System with games all in the boxes. A boxed, fully functional Super Nintendo system plus 20 games.
Ooh.
Again, all in the boxes.
Holy shit.
And a Sega Game Gear handheld, still working with
Mate, just look at it. The Sega Game Gear, okay. Just admire it from a distance, but don't put batteries in it because 3 seconds after you've switched it on, you'll be putting more batteries in it. I used to have one.
Yeah,
right? They don't last long.
and obviously it's got an adapter for the Master System cartridges as well. That's
Jesus
in there.
Christ.
A steering wheel for the PlayStation 2, and then an original Nintendo Entertainment System with light gun and original games, and about 30 of them.
Tell me you were given the robot as well with the spinning discs. No?
Yeah.
What?
It's all in there. It's all in there.
Shut your face.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. It's literally like 5.
I'm on my way.
It's literally like 5 cases worth of stuff.
Wow.
And it's like, oh my God, and this is the bit that I sort of...
Did you
my
make a
eyes-
little squealy sound?
I did
What,
make-
what was that? What was that noise? Oh, nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing.
dogs a dozen miles away going, what? What the fuck was that? But it like things like a boxed mint condition of Super Nintendo Super Punch Out, which I've seen on eBay for about 150 quid.
Were there any Mario games?
Yep,
Boxed
there was.
in-
Yep, there was Mario
Shit,
Kart,
mate.
Mario Kart, Super Mario Land, Mario Brothers on the original NES.
Do you know what?
And every FIFA game on the PlayStation from PlayStation 1 era right up to the last one that was released on PlayStation 2.
Do you know what, mate?
Mm?
Yeah, I mean, you've got a fortune on your hands. You take all that lot down CEX, you're going to get at least 25 quid. All right? From them. It's such a great price.
Mm.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. For all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, 25.
So I said, well, what do you want for
Fuck
it?
you in vouchers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Not only on trading, not in cash. And I said, what do you want for it? And he said, I don't want it at all. Just don't want it in my house. Done. And that was it. Oh,
Okay. It's
right.
about then that you start looking for the sniper dot. Okay? It's like, would you... No.
yeah. Do you want to know the
Get down,
irony?
everyone! Get down!
Do you want to know the irony though?
Go on then.
I thought, well, I'll plug the SNES in and give that a go because on it was Street Fighter. There was an
Oh,
arcade
my word.
joystick. All the controllers, everything's nice and in working order. And I plugged it in to my TV, and my TV's only auto tune, and it's looking for digital signals. So it doesn't look for analog signals, so it just skips
Oh.
straight over the fucking top of it. So I need to somehow get it.
Dude, get onto
analog-
Amazon, mate.
and-
Get on Amazon. You'll get a converter for that without a problem.
Yeah, it's just like, oh my God. I'm sitting there, it's like, right, it's just right there. I can hear the music
Yeah.
as it skips over the top of it, as the auto tune goes straight over the top of it. And then all of a sudden it goes, da, 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 and then it just disappears again. It's like it doesn't lock because it's not a digital signal. It's like, you fucker.
Can't you do manual tuning on it or something?
You
like
can,
that?
but it's still not having it. And
How
also
are you connected to the TV?
through the aerial.
Oh,
But-
okay.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
like that's it, mate. It's like way, oh my word, yes,
Mm.
through the aerial socket.
Have you tried the?
Mm.
I'm just wondering if like the SNES probably wouldn't have the red, yellow, white with it.
No, it doesn't.
The component leads.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only one that's got component leads is the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
And they've both got SCART adapters for it as well. I don't even know if my TV's got a SCART on the back. So
We don't talk about SCART anymore.
No, we don't. So
We
so
try-
that
we
so
try
that was
not to
a
talk about that.
so that was a lovely thing. So I've got loads and loads of stuff, retro stuff. I just
Nice.
can't look at the fucking stuff, and
What if you knew someone had a load of old tellies stashed away?
Yeah,
in
if
the
only you knew
loft.
something. Exactly. Wow.
load of spooky old tellies in the
I
loft.
mean, because like he could convert that loft into a sort of like a retro gaming museum. I mean,
Mm.
I would have thought that would have what he would have done.
There you go.
You know.
Black Dog Retro Gaming. There you go. That's a business for us.
Oh,
Yep.
There
I'll
you
be up
go.
For that.
Yeah, we
Do
just
all the old Games Master challenges, couldn't we?
yeah.
Oh, we could, yes.
Jim,
Oh,
Patrick
yes.
Moore.
Mm.
Yes, hello.
Jim-
I'm Game Master.
Jim, you could sit behind a fishbowl and go, "Hello, everyone," and then give them the challenges. Darren could do the presenting.
I could, yes.
I could be like the stato in the corner talking nerdy shit about video games, and Elton, you're like the main guy running the entire shebang.
Oh, God.
We could do this, folks. We could do this.
Yeah, there you go. I think that's a winner.
Copyright Black Dog. Oh, that's all right, folks. I've got that in there. We're good.
I've sent myself a letter.
Yep.
I put it in a jiffy bag. It's
Dated. It's dated.
It's copyright now.
Postmark.
Postmark. So there was that. The other thing I did was I watched on Netflix. I watched the TV series version of The Gentleman.
Oh, right.
Has anyone seen this?
Yes.
No.
No, I
I've
haven't,
seen the first. Can I just say,
Mm.
the guy who plays the lead
Yeah.
guy in it,
Yeah.
they missed a fucking trick not having him as James Bond.
Do you
Watching
know?
it, yeah. I'm
Both
sorry,
me and Carol
him.
said exactly that.
Him. He's
Mm.
just everything about him is just fucking James Bond. That is
He
it.
is.
He's got the
Absolutely.
whole lot, the quips, the smoothness. It's just everything. I'm so upset thinking about it.
And as we get to like episode 3, we also find that he can he can fuck punch someone right in the throat. So
It's his fucking brother with the fucking is it the bunny suit he's wearing or something?
no, it's a chicken costume.
That's it, and he goes to fucking town. Yes.
Yeah. Freddie, his brother, who I kept calling the Tesco's blue and white stripe Henry Cavill.
Yes.
Yeah, no, basically the plot is essentially the same as The Gentleman. It's about the aristocracy being wrapped up in criminal activity because they've run out of money. So Theo James, that's the guy who plays
That's
the main
the geezer,
character.
him.
He comes back from a tour with the United Nations peacekeeping force back to the house because his dad's died, but then finds out that his dad's been doing a deal with a bunch of drug dealers on the land
Yeah.
to pay for everything. And it's just this guy's attempt to stay in with the criminals, led by this lady called Susie Glass, who's got a real line in "I'm going to fuck you up" kind of attitude.
Yeah.
And she cannot say one thing when she can elucidate several different ways and a number of different ways to elucidate upon you, press upon you, lots of non sequiturs to describe the fact that she's going to inform you about the certain situation. It's just like, oh my God, no one talks like that, but apparently they do. And but yeah, and so he's having to keep in nice with her, get them out of various criminal scrapes, and despite myself, because I wasn't terribly keen on the film, but despite myself, I found myself by the end really, really digging the Gentleman, and Peter Serafinowicz is in that.
Yes, he is.
There you go. See how it ties together.
He certainly does.
See, we got farms, we got animals, we got poo. We've got Peter Serafinowicz. See, it's all coming together.
It is.
Has it made you want to watch the film again?
No, because it literally has nothing to do with the film. The only thing it's got sharing with the film is essentially the premise of rich people and East End gangsters and various gangster groups kind of crossing over because one needs the other and for various reasons. So like the gangsters are growing weed, they want the land, and the sort of gentry want the criminals on their land because the criminals cut them some extra money back to keep the massive estates up and running.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the only bit from the movie that's in this, and it's quite quickly explained in the opening 5 minutes, to be honest. So, but yeah, by the end of it, you want to take his brother out, Freddie, and if wet Henry Cavill, and you want to just punch him to the ground. Seriously, he's a colossal fuck up in every conceivable way.
He is. He's a massive fucking liability.
He's a tool, and by the end of it, you're like, oh my god, oh, you really need a fucking punch. But yes, it's really good. It's worth a look. If you have a tolerance for the Guy Ritchie kind of every gangster speaks like a sort of like half-wits written Shakespeare, then you'll get a lot out of it. And there is a lot of ultra violence, double crossing, quick quips, several different fruity bits of language, racing cars, sexy ladies, you name it, it's all in there. It's a typical Guy Ritchie movie, but stretched out over 8 episodes.
And also you get a glimpse into a parallel universe as well as to who would have been James Bond. And by the end of it, you think Theo James was definitely Mr. Trick if he was not Bond. But he's not interested in it, is he? He doesn't. No, that's it's such a fucking shame.
It is, because, like I say, by the end of it, you're in no doubt that he would have been, that's Bond right there.
Yeah, he would have been fucking brilliant. And
but anyway,
he does action. You know, I've seen him do the was it Scorched Trials? I think it was, or the Divergent. That's it. In that series as well, he was in that. And
I wouldn't judge things on that, to be honest, but
it's involving guns and sort of like hand-to-hand combat and stuff like this. So yeah, he knows his biscuits.
Anyway, so there's that, and then the last thing for me, by the way, that is on Netflix and it is worth a look if you're interested. The last thing for me was I had Wednesday off last week, and I thought, what can I go and see? And I'd seen Longlegs the week before, and I'd seen another big queue right next to Longlegs, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to go see this film this Wednesday. So I went to see a movie called Hundreds of Beavers. Pause for the gags.
I have to say, what the fuck made you go and watch? I can't. I've looked at the poster. It's like, when was this made?
This was made apparently in 2022 on the festival circuit.
It wasn't made during Robin Asquith's fucking height of fame or anything. No.
It's really weird film. I there's no two ways. There's no getting around it. But it's one of those films, and I'm going to say this now. It was made in 2022, but didn't get released because of the COVID thing and the festivals, and it didn't really get picked up until this year. Okay, it's going to be one of those films where in the future you are going to see clips of it in like 2-minute bursts and go, that is fucking funny. It's stupid, it's insane, it's nonsensical, and that's funny.
Right.
However, if that happens, do not feel the need to go and watch a 2-hour movie of it.
It's 2 hours?
Yeah, it's 2 hours. And basically the plot goes that it's entirely silent. It's a silent movie. So that's the first thing.
Okay.
I mean, the worst you get is kind of like sound effects, a bit of music, and when people talk, they kind of like, like that sort of thing.
Right.
There's no captions, and what it is there is a guy who runs a cider. It's in the wilderness in the sort of 1800s in the sort of like North America, and essentially he makes cider, or applejack as he calls it, in this forest. And at the start of the film, he goes on a colossal bender, drinks most of his own produce, and then 2 beavers come along and gnaw away at the wood holding up his store of applejack, which is this massive barrel. And the barrel rolls down a hill, hits a tree, bursts into flames, and blows him, his business, and everything else up. Right? At which point, we then cut to a couple of hours later, and it's freezing cold. He's in the snow. He's got no clothes because it's all burnt down. Everything's burnt off, and we follow his travails as he slowly becomes a pelt hunter, and then eventually takes revenge on the hundreds of beavers that ruined his life.
Right.
Now, the beavers and all the animals, the rabbits, the wolves, the beavers, the birds, everything, are all represented by people, full-grown people, in really bad animal costumes, like football mascot costumes.
Right.
So there's a comedy there, and essentially the whole film is, well, it's Looney Tunes. There is no two ways about it. It is literally it's pulling on things like Looney Tunes, Buster Keaton, Harold Lloyd, Charlie Chaplin, slapstick left, right, and center. And when you watch a little bit of it, the first 5 minutes after watching it, I just thought, this is mad as a fucking brush. I am here for this. I am down the front of the Prince Charles Theatre. There was me and only about 6 other people in this theatre because it was Wednesday lunchtime. And I'm thinking, I am down for this. This is funny. Because there's like a bit when he tries to start a fire and he sits there and the wind blows the flames out. So he turns around, so his back's to the wind. He starts to flame up again. And then the wind sort of changes direction deliberately to blow it out again. So then he sort of like covers up the flames, and then the wind's blowing from 3 other directions, and then it sets him on fire, and he rolls down a hill and falls down a hole in the snow and all this kind of stuff. And it is total Looney Tunes. And you think this is really funny, but if you watch Wile E. Coyote, Roadrunner, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, all those kind of things, when you watch them, you think they're funny, but you watch them in 5-minute bursts.
Yeah.
When you watch a DVD compilation of them, or a load of them on YouTube, you find that even though they are funny, you kind of go from ha 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 to and your brain just kind of gets numb to the slapstick gags.
Yeah.
And so the problem is it goes on too long. If it was like 20 minutes long, I would have been fine with it. Because there's a bit towards the end, and this isn't a spoiler because trust me, it's the bit that everyone clips, which is he's been caught by the beavers who are misses, and they've basically built what looks like essentially like a fortress on this dam, and he's broken in, and there's this kind of Mario sort of platform level thing where he's been jumping around trying to get in. They capture him. They're about to buzzsaw him straight up the cock, and he's strapped to this table, and then all of a sudden he sees someone, and he thinks, oh, it's my friend. My friend's come to rescue me, only to find that the beavers have killed this guy and are wearing his skin like a suit on the outside. And the guy loses his shit, and he goes into sort of full John Wick kind of mode. He breaks out, and there's just this fight between him and about 50 beavers in what looks like a bar / buzzsaw room. And it is the funniest fucking thing I've seen in ages. You know those sort of things where you pick up someone, and it's obviously a floppy stuffed pillow
Yeah.
shaped like a man, and all the arms are flopping all over the place. And there's a bit where he kind of kicks this one, and it goes straight into a fireplace and explodes in a ball of flame. And it all goes absolutely bananas. And they're hitting him with chairs, and then there's kung fu ninja fucking beavers coming in, and he's punching them in the face. And then there's one where he pulls the head off so much he literally pulls the whole head off. Foam stuffing goes everywhere, and then you see like there's this tiny skull of the person who was inside the bodysuit. He's literally pulled the head off of the person inside the suit, and I couldn't stop laughing at that bit. But the problem is, I've done an hour and a half to get to that bit, and I'm just like, So it's worth a look if you've got nothing else to watch. It's also worth a look if you like that kind of slapstick and you've got a high tolerance for it, or you've got it on a streamer and you can kind of stop it, go and make a cup of tea, go to the shops, come back and watch another 10 minutes of it. But yeah, there is a point where it kind of fizzles out because it's just overstayed its welcome, which is a shame really, because it's mad as a box of frogs. That is a film called Hundreds of Beavers, and it's in the cinema right now.
Yeah, I haven't seen any clips of it. I've seen it advertised over the last, I want to say months, but I think it's a bit longer than that. But
yeah,
it's one of them ones where I'm interested. But I know it's not going to be as interesting as... It's like you say, with the cartoon thing, it's all well and good. If you catch them on TV, you're like, this is great. It's live. I haven't chosen to watch this, but it's here. I will enjoy it.
Yeah.
But if you put it on, there's a different feeling to that. And I don't know how much of that would bleed over onto this film.
Yeah, it's very hard to very hard to explain. I'll link the trailer up on the Facebook group, and you can have a look at it.
Yeah.
But it gives you a good sense of what you're dealing with. But it is a very odd film, but it does have it. There you go. It's up on the Facebook group now. But it's it's a very odd film, but it had so much potential. But it needed an editor to just go, no, actually, these things are funny because you're repeating them, but just fuck off, stop, take that bit away, stop doing that gag. It's not funny. Or it stopped being funny 5 hours ago, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But have a look when we have a break. Have a look, see what you think. It's a very odd movie. Right. Okay. Well, before we wrap up this section, we did have some feedback, only a little bit, for Paddington 2. Which is on the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/The Black Dog Podcast. The feedback, he says, desperately trying to open up his emails and checking out the stuff. No, there is there. Okay. There was Martin Thompson, who wrote in to say, it's certainly a bold choice for a sequel. What should we do with our lovable talking bear? I know. Put him in prison. So that was one bit of feedback. Brad Hammond said, the heck with Paddington 2, that crab joke was a cracker, the one I did last week, which nobody else laughed at. So thank you, Brad. I'm glad someone appreciates dad jokes like I do.
Don't encourage him.
Yeah, we need more dad jokes. I need to do just a dad joke podcast. Screw you losers, I'm off. Chris Johnson wrote in to say, I'm with Elton on the Paddington movies. They're all well made, but they're just not for me. I loved Paddington as a kid, and even at one point had 7 Paddington teddy bears.
There you
Wow.
Okay. There you go. And finally, Ian Spaceship said, sorry, Darren, for the COVID. I must have coughed so hard, sputum forced its way into the internet and dribbled out of your wall.
It was you.
It was him. There you go. So there you go. So, yeah, not a lot of feedback about Paddington itself, but then again, it's a nice film. It's one of those nice films
Yes.
where it's so nice, you can't really criticize it, can you,
Nope.
Elton? Anyway, so yeah, we'll leave it there. Right, so we'll go off for a little break, make a cup of tea, and when we come back, we will return to the drab, grey, surreal madness that is
This podcast.
the corner office. That as well. You know what I'm doing. Roll the jingle. Right, so office. No, not office space. Corner office. I just saw the word office. My bloody browser was off to one side. Corner Office is a 2022 American comedy drama film directed by Joaquin Back and written by Ted Cupper, based on a short story, The Room, not that one, by Jonas Carlson. The film stars John Hamm, Danny Pudi, Sarah Gadon, and Christopher Heyerdahl. The film premiered at Tribeca Film Festival on June 19th, 2022, and was released August 4th, 2023. The film is actually about, he says, trying to find a scenario, a sum up, about John Hamm, who plays Orson, the authorities' newest employee. He finds himself trapped in the absurdities of corporate life. His alienation deepens when he discovers a room he's told does not exist. There you go. That's it. We have absolutely diddly fuck all information about this film. I mean, it's almost as mysterious as the plot of the film itself. There's no budget. There's no final tally. It never really made it to a cinema. It was bought up as a job lot, licensed job lot, which was why it ended up on Freevee instead of Amazon Main. Okay. So I can tell you the rating, but I think that might sway our conversation a little, so I'll leave that right where it is, but I might come back to it later depending on how we react. So let's go around the table and find out what everyone thought of the Corner Office. I mean, I tell you what, for format's sake, do you want to tell us how much you thought it earned, Darren?
I think it earned a whole ream of letter-headed paper and a fuckload of elastic bands.
Nice. Jim?
I think it made 3 million seconds spent very uncomfortably watching a man stare at a wall.
Elton?
2 shoe coverings.
Nice. I will say it was John Hamm's eye bags. That's what it actually earned. I'm terribly sorry. It was just, those are epic eye bags. If someone can take John Hamm and make him look like fucking Mr. Magoo in a wig, I mean, good on you. You've done your job. Anyway, so let's get round to the table. No spoilers. Just quick sum up of what you thought of it. So I'll tell you what. I will start with you, Jim. What do you think of Corner Office?
I liked it.
Yeah.
So it just tickled the part of my brain that appreciates, say, the likes of Blue Jam, or and that kind of I like things like this where it's just everything's just slightly wrong, and I really kind of like I thought it was just very, very well observed, shall we say?
Mm-hmm.
And it just stayed the right side of slightly wrong without sort of tipping off the edge into sort of sub Charlie Kaufman wibble,
Oh God,
if you know what I mean.
Yes.
And I think he was kind of very brave to play it like that. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea for this one. Fucking nothing happened in it. But, each to their own. But, I thought it was really, really clever. There's lots of intriguing little things. I'm wondering if other people notice, or it's just me being sleep deprived and reading too much into it.
Nice. Okay. Well, we'll see. Darren, what do you think of it?
I've got to say, I liked it as well, just because it was just different. I love films like this where they throw a curveball, and whether the ending makes any sense or not, it's the effort they put into it, going on that journey and getting to that point. And I thought the performances all round. I thought this was going to be, when I first started watching it and the way it opens the film, I thought this was going to be like a Kafkaesque type tale, but I don't know if it is really.
Okay.
It's not like the where the guy gets arrested and then gets released by the end of the story, and he has absolutely no idea why he was arrested in the first place. It wasn't anything like in that sort of vein. But still a nice oddity.
Okay. Cool. For me, I'm in two minds about it. On the one hand, I've got to say that I used to work at as an IT manager, the IT manager for a chartered accountants in Edgware Road, and I just felt like I was watching my entire 5 years at that place go past my eyes in an hour and 30, thinking, oh my god, why? What were you following me around? I mean, not that I look like John Hamm, and even in my dreams, I don't look as good as him, even when he was fucking a human wreck. But, so I was thinking, oh, good lord. Okay, so there was a lot of, shall we say, recognition of everything. But also, I found it fascinating in a sort of a study of mental breakdown and what anxiety and workplace will do to a person. But I can talk about that a bit later on. But essentially, on the one hand, I really liked it for what it did and how it did it. The problem I had was it felt like something that could have been a Black Mirror episode, or what's the other one that was the Philip K. Dick one that they had for a while called Electric Dreams or something like that. Did you
happen to think Stanley Parable?
Yes, Stanley Parable was one thing that leapt straight to my mind. So Stanley Parable was definitely there. I mean, but like I say, it was Stanley Parable, it was Severance, it was Black Mirror, Electric Dreams. It was the sort of thing I think would have made a fantastic, 45-minute to an hour play for today, one-off, one-shot thing.
Yeah.
I think there was just a point where it kind of just got a little too far away from itself. But overall, I admired it for what it tried, because it was, as Elton said when we found out about it last week, it's different. It very much is different. So, yeah. What about you, Elton? What did you think?
I nervously really enjoyed it. And coming away from it, watching it, going, okay, I wonder what the guy's going to think of this one. So I've been nervous for the last couple of days. But I came away enjoying it. There were moments where I thought, has it played its hand too soon? but I don't think it did at all.
Right.
I think it did it at the correct times. There were some great interactions during with the cast. I thought all the cast were really good in this. It felt like one of those weird dreams that you've had where the dream just doesn't seem to end, and there is no aim in the dream whatsoever. It just feels like you're going round in circles and you have no control. You cannot get off of this circle that you're going around on, and you keep looping back on yourself. But I had fun with it. I thought it looked great. It made me feel uncomfortable at times, but I think it's meant to. It's meant to really make you feel uncomfortable in certain aspects. So, yeah, came away nervously going, yeah, I'm happy with that. I hope you guys are as well. So,
and then when all the gifs started appearing in the Facebook chat,
yeah.
Do you know what? I didn't know what you were doing when you first posted that, Lee. So I just thought, all right, I'll post another picture of a man looking bored.
Oh God! Oh, you both terrified me because I saw the first one go out going, oh shit,
He hates it.
oh shit, and then you put one out, oh bollocks, they agree with each other.
Yeah, and once again, the Black Dog podcast once again adds a little extra feather onto the pile of Elton's anxieties.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
Yep.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, don't worry, Elton. It was I don't think everyone's going to like it. I don't think it's everyone's cup of tea, if I'm
Oh,
honest.
absolutely not. No.
But
This was
you
a
know.
risk. Doing this one was an absolute blind risk, and I was willing to take that.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's certainly a left turn from fucking Paddington, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, then. Well, we're going to get into the spoiler zone. So, as ever, here we go. Let's just randomly hit the buttons in an order to just tell you that we're in spoiler zone territory.
Tetsu Canada.
Put your helmet on. We'll be reaching speeds of 3. Shut up, Wesley.
And here we are in the spoiler zone section. So, if you haven't seen this film, and to be quite honest, I think that's a fair assumption that you haven't seen this film, then please do pause it, go watch it, be angry at us for making you watch it, and then come back to us afterwards. It's on Amazon, but it's on the Freevee channel, which you don't have to pay for, but you will get ads dotted throughout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not too many either. I thought it was
It
actually
wasn't
pretty
too bad,
good.
actually. Yeah.
I got 5 ad breaks in the hour and 40. What did you guys get?
Same here.
Yeah,
About that,
okay.
yeah.
was
But
just-
they're all quite brief as well, like 15
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah. It was a bit.
Fair.
It was a bit odd though. At one point, I sort of blinked and looked up, and there was James May in India, and I'm thinking, "What?
Yeah.
God, this is really took a left turn.
Fucking hell, what's going on here?" Anyway. So
Is that
let's
in his room?
Yeah. What's James May doing in this? Is this why they broke up Top Gear? What the fuck? Anyway. Yeah. So, anyway, okay, let's get on to it. So, first off, hands up. How many of us have been in a job like this?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, yes.
No, I haven't. No,
You haven't.
no, I've always been out in the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with your cows and sticking your hands up pigs'
Yes,
arses
that's
and whatnot.
right. Yes, yes. I
That-
stick
that
my
field.
hand up cows. Yes.
Mr. Hoof. Dr. Hoof. When you're in love with a beautiful woman. Oh, that's Dr. Hook, sorry.
I always got the impression he was not actually a registered medical professional, Dr.
No.
Hook. I don't know what it was about him.
That man's never been to medical school.
Isn't it funny though? He had a hook hand and an eye patch, and it's like, oh, somebody scratched his eye there. You know,
It's a lack
without
of
thinking
depth.
about it.
I think he just lost his hand in a kitchen slicer because he's got no depth perception. Anyway, neither here nor there. Right. So we've all. So apart from Elton, we've all been in a very similar corporate nightmare
So how close is this for the other people listening that have never been in an office doing this sort of work? How close is this? And is this just a representation of some jobs or absolutely every single office job?
I'll give you two brief examples from my time working in a corporate environment.
Mm-hmm.
For a company I won't name, probably the best. But I was working night shift. It was a radio paging company. Now they're a mobile phone company. That's how long ago it was. But slowly, the entire building was being plunged into darkness because to change one light bulb, 6 different managers had to sign off on it.
Mm-hmm.
The 6 different managers were all feuding and refused to sign each other's sign-off things. So the light bulbs weren't getting replaced. So slowly the offices are going into darkness as another bulb goes and another bulb goes.
Yep.
Now, I work night shift in a radio paging company. Literally, no members of the public ever come in the office. You know, the only people come in are people corporate, maybe in the day, but very unlikely to come to the shop floor, as it were. Yeah, we used to get edicts about our dress code for night shift. We had to wear suits and ties and things, which everyone working night shift like, fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I mean? That's a surreal. Oh, but a member of public, a customer might see you. What, over the phone?
Yeah.
And actually, the third one, they had a policy of you could not hang up on a customer. Which when you do night shift and you deal with drunk people trying to radio page someone, it's often led to call times of an hour and a half as some drunk burbled away and threatened to kill you because they were convinced someone was in the office and they could speak to them. But you're not. You're just a radio paging firm. Lunacy.
Yeah. I'll give you an example. Like I say, I've had a number of jobs, but my most boring one was a chartered accountant's that was in the Edgware Road. I don't know if it's still there now. And it had a partnership of gentlemen who were, shall we say, they all had money invested in the partnership. So they didn't want to spend any profits at all because it's their profits. And funny enough, there was also the chartered accountants of Jeremy Clarkson, who I once saw in a lift. But anyway, so I went down there as the IT manager, and I had my invoice and order sheet of all the IT supplies and stocks and spares that we needed, cables, that sort of thing. And I went down to the partner who was nominally put in charge of IT. And he had no idea. And he went, what's this? And I said, this is an order for a box of 10 3.5-inch floppy disks. He went, but it's 12 quid. And I went, yes, that's the going rate for a 750 meg double-sided floppy disk. 10 pack of 10 of. He went, that's £1.20 a disc. I went, yes, well done. You're in an accountant's. And he then turned round, sat back, steepled his fingers in this really expensive black leather chair behind a desk that must have cost him about $4,000 because it was like dark mahogany wood. He looked out over the city as if he was like the head of the fucking CIA, and then he turned around and he went, how many do you actually need? Ooh. And I went, well, probably all of them. And he went, yeah, but how many do you need now? And I said, well, probably I will be using 3 to do a backup of so-and-so's data. And he went, so that's what, £3.60? And I went, yes. He said, there's a Ryman's around the corner. Here's £3.60. Go get it. Ugh. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't work like that. You can't buy individual single 750 meg floppy disks.
A box of 10, wasn't it?
A box of 10. It's a box of 10. They are little tiny 800 meg floppy disks. You cannot buy them individually. Why not? with
I
money.
don't know. Should we get the manufacturers on the phone? Should we ask them?
So you know what I did? I went, okay, but the rest is okay, yeah? And he went, I guess. And he signed off the invoice, still leaving the box of 10 on there. I took the £3.50 off his desk. I went across to Whittards and I bought myself a bag of chocolate coffee beans and sat outside the coffee bean shop eating the coffee beans until I was so zapped through them with raw caffeine and sugar I could see through time. So, yeah, that's the kind of corporate shit you deal with. Cartoon wasn't. Cartoon was everyone going around on fucking Flymos or whatever just because they felt they were being quirky.
Yeah.
But yeah, chartered accountants. No, mate. Seriously, that was everything you saw in that film. Darren, you got anything to throw into that? While we're doing nightmares, while we're sharing
anything I can mention legally.
You don't have to if you don't want to. It was just in case, just to give Elton some context.
Yeah. Just trying to think back through my. It's more user stupidity that I've come across, but rather than having to deal. Well, the only thing that I've come across in my time is one company that shall remain nameless. I used to have to sign into a website to get admin rights. Now, when we first started doing this, admin rights were part of the actual profile. I logged in, I would have admin rights on any machine I liked. Right? I could do whatever I liked. Then they introduced this other system, and we had to log into it, create, requests for whichever thing we wanted to have admin rights on, and put that across, and then it would be ours. Now, this would last all day until some bright spark said, no. You don't need this for more than 4 hours at a time. And it's like, you're a man who's never actually done IT before, are you? Okay. Because I can bet you now, right? I can lay money on this table and I will win. And I will tell you that halfway through doing a job, those admin rights are going to go down and cause a fucking issue. But they still kept that time limit in. And it's the question you have to ask then is, what damage do you think I can do in, say, 8 hours that I can't do in 4? Yeah.
Format /S.
Exactly.
Hit return and leave.
Because you might as well just give it to me for 30 seconds at a time. Because, even then, I could probably wipe something from the actual machine to cause damage. I don't mind signing in at the beginning of the day and having this activated. Fair enough. Audit trail, all that lot. But, there was no real reason for it. It's just somebody had an idea to get a thing done.
Well, just always remember your IT person. If you really don't trust them with admin rights, don't give them admin rights ever.
Exactly, just don't bother.
Because I left my first IT manager's job before the chartered accountants, and someone I didn't like who'd given me nothing but shit for nearly 8 years. I decided I'd had enough of him and his shit-eating grin and his silly questions and all that kind of stuff. So I, on the last day, changed his password to renew every day, and he had to put 250 characters in for his password, and it had to be unique.
Every single time.
Yes.
With it resetting every 15 years.
And it was on no, it didn't reset every 15 years.
No, I mean, when you can start using your old passwords again.
Oh, no, this was Novell 3.1. I didn't have to do anything like that. I just went, never have ever a same unique number. Thank you very much. Goodbye. And I walked out that door and I locked the door and I left the key with the receptionist and I went, tell her I'll be hearing from him soon. And as it was, I handed my work mobile phone in and got a new phone the next day. So, I never heard from him again.
There you go.
That's good. That's better than mine. If you set the desktop background to black, you set the font color to black, you set the taskbar to black, and the cursor to a black arrow, and then leave them. Get out of that one, Rommel. I've got a black screen. It's not working with the lights.
Yeah.
You
I
know
can
what?
hear beeping. I can hear beeping.
It's a pity mice and keyboards don't work the way they used to, because there was a joke they used to play on one of the guys. They used to swap the actual, they used to have specific ports on the back of machines where you plugged your mouse in one and the keyboard in the other.
Yes, yeah.
The
They used
PS2.
Yeah.
Yes.
PS2 connections.
They used to
Serial
swap
part.
them round for him, right? So that, yeah.
Mm.
And he's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Or better yet, just change the character mapping. That's even funnier. Then
Yeah.
then watch them press F and then have it come up S, and then watch them get really angry as they type in stop or something like that, and then, or Control Alt Delete and find that actually now Control Alt Delete is 1 Enter and 7.
Oh, I got another one. Another one we actually tricked someone else with, right? We turned his screensaver to a blue screen of death, right? Okay, so it come all this white text, right? So he's looking, what the fuck is going on here? And all we said to him was, all right, okay, so what you got to do, right? It's a special technique to get this working. All you got to do is just tap the table. And he's like, really? And we just went like that. The mouse would move slightly and then it would go back to normal. And he would later on we'd see him sort of like trying to hit the table to make the fucking screensaver disappear, thinking he was solving the problem. Beautiful.
Yep. Someone else I didn't like, I stuck Faith of the Heart from Star Trek Enterprise as their startup music. so every time they started up Windows 95, it would be going, "It's been a long road getting from there to here," for about a minute and a half.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and they couldn't stop it because they didn't have admin rights to change the startup music.
Man.
Anyway, enough of this. We've done 25 minutes. We ain't talked about the fucking film.
No, we haven't.
But it does kind of illustrate a number of things. Office life is tough and weird and boring and strange. So
it is.
How? Okay, here we go. Let's get into the actual film. Otherwise, it's going to just turn into, and this is how I took revenge on this person, until one of us gets sued. So, firstly, how did you feel about the film predominantly being a narrated film? Because I don't know about you, but narration is one of those things which can make or break a movie. You can have Blade Runner Final Cut, or you can have Blade Runner Theatrical Cut. Kind of Harrison Ford. And sometimes it can be a bit weird and irritating. How did you feel about that? Anyone? I'm just throwing it open.
I know there's a film writing rule saying, "Oh, we never have voiceover narration." And it's kind of, oh yeah. There's no good for voiceover narration, is there? Taxi Driver. And this is a film very much like Taxi Driver because it's about one person's point of view, and you need kind of the counterpoint between what he's thinking and what you're seeing. And voiceover narration is only bad when you've got a voiceover telling you what the film's actually showing you.
Yeah, like a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah. Like the Blade Runner dub.
Yes.
I mean, when I saw the director's cut without the voiceover, I thought, weirdly, this makes more sense.
Yeah.
Without the voiceover explaining things.
Yeah.
I don't know how they managed that, but that's quite a bit of work.
Yeah.
Adding a voiceover made the film more obtuse. Well done. But in this case, I think you have that contrast because these kind of this film is very much about perceptions, and it's really it's toying with you like an evil existential cat. It's asking a question like, do you believe what he's saying? Do you believe what you're seeing, or do you believe none of it? Place bet now. And throughout the film, there's all little things that are just wrong-footing you. And how far is kind of what you're saying is accurate? It's not whether it's true or not; it's how accurate it is, because there's layers of perception of kind of. It's like the company's called The Authority. Isn't that a bit weird?
Yeah.
Oh,
Do
absolutely.
those clock hands get stuck?
They did,
You know what I mean? There's all these little things that are what's with the shoe protectors.
Yep.
Is that real or is that not? You know what I mean? You're constantly asking to weigh up everything you're presented with of kind of not so much bullshit or not, of kind of like, well, where is it on a spectrum of potentially bullshit or delusion? And who's being deluded? Is it me? I don't know anymore. I wish this cat had stopped hitting me.
What is going on? Yeah. What about you, Dal? I mean, you were about to jump in there, mate.
Yeah, I was fine with the narration. I think where he's concerned, I think it was quite important. Now, a suggestion I did see earlier on today, because I wasn't really thinking about this before, and then it kind of got my mind thinking about it, was how this was, it was like a tale of, I think somebody said, like, autism within the workplace.
Okay.
It's how one neurodivergent individual, is surrounded by lots of neurotypicals who don't see the world the way they see it. And so things like they can seem to be annoying when actually they're not trying to be annoying at all. This is just how they cope, how they kind of process the world and stuff.
Right.
And something that I did think about, where the room was concerned, and he kind of just stops there, sounds a little bit like disassociation.
Right.
Where leading to times of stress and trauma, can, particularly traumatic things happen to them or stressful situations, can lead them to disassociate, where they go off inside their own head to a totally, like sometimes a totally another world. And this is what I thought that room sounded like. It's like going off to a better place when the place you're in is not working so well for you.
Okay.
And if you notice, when he goes inside that room, he even says it, he feels completely different, and everybody listens to him. When people was in that were in the room with him, actually listened to him and thought his ideas were good ideas, which is how he wanted people to see him.
Yeah.
And then he'd get outside, and barring the whole thing of where they see him standing there in the passageway, just staring at a wall, it's their attitude towards him is different. They're not so agreeable with him. And when you get introduced to all the different characters within the office, there's like the woman that sits at the front, in front of, I can't remember the character's name, the woman that sits behind her, who's always laughing at everything.
Oh yeah.
Shannon, wasn't it?
Shannon,
Yes, yeah.
So again, it's got shades of disassociation in there. The room being this place where he takes himself off to, that's perfectly ordered, that's to his liking, a world that works for him. Do you know? I don't know if I've explained that.
No, it's cool.
I get that totally. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it says to me. Whether it's, there's no indication, there's no actual complete admission of whether he has, whether he is autistic or not. But there is the whole, I mean, just because he's autistic doesn't mean to say he's going to disassociate, because it's not, from what I believe, it's not an autistic trait anyway, not a typical autistic trait, but it can be to do with trauma. So what happened to him before he got there? Was there
Okay.
something that is there a reason why you moved to a new place?
I think there is a line that does sort of suggest that something had occurred very early on.
And there's also the thing of he's used to being the one that everybody came to as well. So maybe being the new boy, it is causing him stress because he has to get used to a whole new set of rules, or social rules within that place of how people do things, how they like it done. The whole thing of we like to think about the floor, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in that. I mean,
There's so much. It's really quite rich for discussion. I think.
Yeah. Before I dive in on that, I want to hear what Elton thinks of it because I mean, the thing for me is that we've all been in one form or another in these kind of grey slab, faceless, dingy, soulless hellholes, and you haven't.
No.
You've been out in the field, as it were, sticking your hand up cows' bums and making boxes go up and down in shafts.
Yeah.
So
That's just a pastime.
yeah, and then you go to work.
Yeah.
So how are you seeing it? I mean, do you see it all as a big parody? Is it a big joke? I mean, can you even not being patronising, but do you even equate with it? Do you even understand that bits of it are parody, or are you just thinking, nah, this is just stupid, or what?
No, I get it because I do see it because I'm not blind to the places I go to. I'm not blind to what happens in the office that we have. And you see the interactions. You see people playing the roles in these sort of things, and people talk, and you see little cliques that go on as well. And some places are much, much worse than other places, and some places they seem like they get on quite well, and other places it's like a fucking library, and you can almost cut the air with a knife. It's so thick and dense, and this is on that side of things, I think.
Right.
That's the impression I get anyway. But I suppose it is kind of hard. If I've never been in that sort of situation, then yes, I would be lying to say that I understand it completely because I've never been in there. Day to day, going into that place, sitting down at the same place, going through the same routines, listening to the same person cough as much as they do, listening to that person laugh as much as they do. And I don't have that. But then again, I have my own versions of that, of fucking people sitting in the middle lane constantly. Who the fuck are you overtaking, mate? Who are you overtaking? Honestly.
Yeah.
And I just drive past them looking and going, who the fuck are you overtaking? No, that's right, you're not. And then I orbit them sometimes. I like to pass them and then go back into the first lane and then slow down and then come out and then pass them again and orbit them a little bit, and they just look at you going, what the fuck are you doing? What?
Can I just ask, Elton, do you drive like a Mack truck with tinted windows? Is that what you do? Do you drive around the back roads of England, sort of like, harassing?
Racing duel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have my own little versions of these. The office people have their versions, and I have my own versions as well.
But the thing is, with all due respect, mate, your irritation office people are people that you'll never see again after the first go. After you've harassed them into the central lane off of a slip road into a bin.
No,
and an embankment somewhere. Yeah.
I would say that your office people are my people that I go. They're the clients I see. That's what I would say. And we have the irritating ones. We have the nice ones, and the people that will offer you a cup of tea, and then the people that will offer you a cup of tea with mouldy milk. And it's like, oh god, okay, yeah. There's so many people out there. Yes, I have had that where I've seen the milk flop into the tea.
Yeah.
And you're like, I ain't drinking that. You got no chance. So there are there are differences, but there's a lot of similarities. But you have to see the similarities to understand it. So I get it. I think every job's kind of similar. You just need to appropriate the right people to the right situation, and you kind of get the same sort of interaction with the general public or your office working people.
Okay, cool. I mean, I was gonna say, because the thing with, for me, that the Office and the whole film represents, I mean, there's a number of things about like mental health, obviously, which is a thing which I on one hand I feel like I can certainly, how can I put it? I can certainly sympathize and understand. But then the bigger thing for me is that the film is really a parody of petty, pathetic corporate life in terms of how it doesn't matter what you do, the results actually ultimately never matter. Yeah. I think that's the gag, because in the film, I mean, we're in spoiler zone now, so it doesn't really matter, but in the film, the idea is that he's supremely competent at his job, so good that he does all this stuff that the executive VP further up, is using all of his reports and all his information that he's written while in this imaginary room, as the gold standard for the company's operations. So you'd think, well, that's obviously a big deal. Unfortunately, because he's a little bit weird and makes a demand of stuff that he feels he's worth, it's like, no, you're not that important. And then he basically gets fired.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why are you fired? Well, you're fired because you're not fitting in with with what we want you to be.
You are colour to Al Grey.
Yeah, but not even that. It's the fact that, it's that whole, you're a drone. You are doing what we want you to do. You do it well, you stay where you are. If you do it badly, you stay where you are, but we just ignore you. But if you stand out from the crowd, you get fucking, or try and order, or try and sort of, I don't know, value your worth.
Well,
suddenly it's like, fuck you.
I've just had a moment of realization when I said you are colour to Al Grey. Really, he is brown to the grey, isn't he? Because his room is wood panelled and everything's so refined, and the nice wooden desk, and it's like, yeah, you live in a world where we don't have that sort of thing. I know they don't see that, but that's the way he portrays himself as, no, I have wood panels on our wall.
Well, so that office, I think, is very symbolic, because that's kind of that's the dream of being an executive in the 1950s. It's Madman, the TV series, heaven, that office.
Yeah.
Your own turntable, drinks cabinet, paddling, leather armchairs, tasteful bits of art, low lighting. You know what I mean? That's kind of the 50s ideal of corporate life, of being an executive. It's the complete fantasy of being a businessman and being an executive.
Yeah.
The reality is this faceless drone bullshit.
Yeah. And the stuff with the worrying about the water on the carpet and wearing the shoe coverings. All it is, it's about
control.
It's the control. It's the corporate bullshit thing, which like I say, I don't know if you've had it in that specific way, but I'm pretty sure you've had some bullshit where they just made you do something to make them feel better.
Oh, Absolutely. Every
that's
single
all-
fucking day.
So it's like, it's the place where I'm at now. They want you to do a timesheet, and it's like, right, okay, I'll do a timesheet. Am I actually charging time to anything? No, but you've got to do a timesheet. Things like that. It's just like, it's do it because it's doing, not because you need to do it.
Yeah.
And shit like that. It's just a level of control. And that's the thing I think the movie sends up and parodies beautifully, because you sit there going, God, this guy's boring. God, this movie's boring. God, this is all boring. And then you're like, no, actually, I've gone through the Zen phase now, and I can see that's the fucking point.
Yeah.
And the magical realism of his office may seem crazy, and it may drop the whole hint that, hey, guess what? He's seeing this thing and nobody else is. But it's like, yeah, but isn't it good that he can? Isn't it?
See, that's what I think works really well, because that's why the narration works so well, I think, because we all sit there in our office going, for fuck's sake, or we sit in our jobs and see people and interact with them and have a different face to them, to the voice in our head going, God, you're a fucking idiot. You really are. Why do I have to do this sort of stuff?
Yeah.
It's pointless. It means nothing. And yet you're making me do this.
Yeah.
Okay, you want me to put a lunch break written on the piece of paper to say I had a lunch break, do you? By the way, this is not about my firm now, okay? But just
Safe.
covering bases there. But
Safe move. Good work.
yeah. So, yeah, I used to have a timesheet, and you used to write out the jobs that you go to and the times you went there, and you only get a finite amount of lines to write. Otherwise, you need to fill out a whole new sheet, which is a ball ache. You'd rather just do one and then be done. But no, sometimes if you have some overtime, that might spill over into a second sheet, so you can justify that. Okay, that's fine. But when you have one line that has to go on that sheet because someone has made you write 5 times that week, lunch break, you sit there going, it doesn't mean anything. I don't have to do this. You can see there's half hour missing out my day. That's where the lunch was. I'm not getting paid for it, so why am I writing it down?
Yeah.
But it's because people have done that for years, and that's the way they want to do it because they're above you. Oh, fucking hell. God, I'm getting angry now. But I think that's why the narration works as well, because you have those thoughts all the way through the day. He scans the room and works out, well, first off, he's doing I'm going to do 55 minutes of concentrated work and then have a 5-minute break. And he splits his day up into these moments, which I think is brilliant. But then he also has these little inner monologues about people around the room. And my favorite bit is when he looks at that drawing of the woman's kids of the islands and the sun in the middle, and he's like, that's just not scientifically correct. No, that doesn't work at all. I wonder if she's aware of that.
It's that just wouldn't work that way. The palm trees would lean towards the sun.
It's physically not possible. How could you have a sun and then 2 islands on either side? The thing is, there are quotable moments, but I can't think of a single quotable line in this one because it is all narration.
Yeah,
it's not a back and forth type thing.
Yeah. I mean, there's...
We like to think of the floor. There was that one.
Yeah, we like to think of the floor.
We like to think of the floor.
Mm.
So just something as a little aside to this. I know we're discussing what what impression that film's made on us, what we think it's about, metaphors and stuff. Well, you know how you watch some films and you think, oh, he's in hell. He's died and he's gone to hell.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I had the opposite thought to that. I thought,
go on.
Well, what if this is actually heaven? What if this? What if this is the angels working in the back offices? Because it's the authority, and they go upstairs to the mysterious authority, and you see the tower go up through the clouds as well, and you see the starkness of it all. Now, if it's hell, it's normally fire and shit like this, right? Okay. But what if they portray it another way? For heaven, this part of heaven that's not particularly that heavenly, but this is where the backroom staff work.
In heaven.
In heaven.
My God.
What if this is what it's actually like?
Jesus.
And there's something else that suggested that to me as well. And it's like, well, if it's not heaven, what if he's waiting? You know, it's like reincarnation or something like this, and he's stuck in this area.
We don't see him leave, do we?
We don't. We never see where he goes. We only see him go out to the car, and then that's it. We never see outside that area. You only see just in the car park. That's the furthest you go.
You got any thoughts on this, Jim? Before I I bring like because go on.
It's interesting, but it's that thing. It's kind of the car park. It's always snowing, and you have no sense of how long the story's unfolding, and the car park does have everyone has the same car, and it is kind of how much of this is real and how much is his perception. I think he's very rules orientated, and he's quite happy to play by the rules because he believes the rules will give him the corner office, which is that's his reason for playing the game, and he's really working hard because he's close to attaining it. And it's like when he gets sort of told off for not having the feet covering, he's not angry with anyone else for not telling him.
Yeah.
Which I would be, because it's like, well, how the fuck was I supposed to know that, numbnuts? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
come on,
exactly. Yeah.
Don't reprimand me for something you didn't tell me. But no, he's actually angry with himself. He didn't work out that rule. But so at the end, when he finally cracks, it kind of reveals actually he knows this is all futile bollocks, drone behavior. It's only when it's kind of the notional reward he's working for is being snatched away that he sort of goes, I fucking hate this game. It's a stupid game anyway.
Yeah.
But he knows that all along, I think.
Well,
which is why I don't think it's heaven. That's why I think it's his own personal hell.
Well, I was going to say, given how we only ever see anything from his perspective, and we only ever get his view on things, including the room. I mean, is anything that we're seeing genuine? And by that, I mean, like, the building looking brutalist and raising up into, big towering obelisk of, monolithic thing, imposing and cold and sterile. And, like, the only flash of color is the girl on the desk, Alicia, is it?
Yes, yeah. So the only color in that entire office is the backdrop behind her.
Yes,
there's a hint of that warmth, the warm earth tones of the room.
Exactly, and so there's this whole thing of, is any of it really the way it is, or are we only seeing his particular interpretation of it? Something, which, you've got to turn around and say, well, hang on, maybe that is the case, because when when he walks in, he looks up, all the cars look the same. All, the only way you can find it is by it making that beeping noise. And it's just like, what you've got is you've got someone who doesn't recognize anything sees everything as flat, slate, grey, boring. He's not annoyed by it. It's just the way everything is. And to me, I'm wondering whether or not maybe, just maybe, the whole thing is just like, it's just a complete profile of his mental state. That people are looking at him wrong, they're acting wrong. The Danny Pudi character who kind of leaves the files over on his desk, he gets upset by the panel not being there, the privacy panel not being there, all these kind of things. And they're not big things. None of them are big deals. Like the stuff that goes over his side is literally like a single sheet of paper or something, isn't it? And it's just like, I don't want to get too into it with people, people's, judging people's mental, states, what kind of, whether or not he's autistic or something else, because I haven't got that baseline. No. But to me, you look at his face, you look at his demeanor, you look at the way he acts, and you can clearly see that he's not socially outgoing. He's not acting upon any stimulus other than what he's being asked to do. He's being very ordered. He's doing what he needs to do as efficiently as he needs to do it. And that, if you were an artist drawing from a concept and someone sort of described him, the building that he's in is him. It's featureless, and to the outside world, it's cold and anonymous and blank and functional. And I'm wondering whether the whole thing, from start to finish, is all completely in his head. I mean, he could be working in fucking McDonald's, really, but we can't see it because it's how he's interpreting absolutely everything.
He's trying to make a place for himself in his own mind. It's like Inception, then, isn't it?
Kind of.
So he disappears into this office, and then once he's in the office, then he needs a place to disappear to, which is the room.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that he's not doing a thing of work.
No.
But the point is, you never find out what his job is. You never find out what he's actually covering, even though they say it's casework, but that doesn't tell you anything. Yeah. You know the people, but you don't, and you know the interactions as he describes them, and you know the world as he describes it. But the clues are there, like things like he can't recognize his own car in a car park. It's always snowing. But it's never cold. It's flat and blank, except for the moment when it finally gets too much for him, and he has this little tiny room that he escapes to, where he is him, and everything is bright, and there's sunshine and wood paneling, and everything's ordered and nicely and neat, and everyone listens to him and is attentive. So, is the whole thing? I mean, I thought it was a parody on just the workplace, like Office Space or something like that. But is it actually functionally the whole thing's about a psychological issue?
I think it's more about mental health than anything, and I'm not talking about like the autism or anything like that. It's the fact that he wonders about, well, the bulb hasn't been changed. How many people does it take to change this bulb? I could do that myself straight away. It's that flicking little thing as he walks into that cafeteria room. It's just feeling socially awkward, how to deal with the other people, interact with your peers, and have office chat, I suppose. You know, sometimes that's awkward. I find that awkward as well sometimes. But well, whenever I think about it, they want you to work hard. But I nearly said something. Okay, but I remember it in another company. They sent emails around saying, "Oh, we are really worried about your welfare and everything like that." And okay, fine. Well, the best way to pay me more, so I don't have to worry. Oh no, not like that. We don't want to do that. Can't pay you more, but we are really worried about you. Yeah, sure you are. Of course you are. Yeah, that's right. I remember that. But there's a lot of that going on, isn't there? And this company, the Authority, they give weird rewards about like corduroy jackets and corduroy slippers and stuff like that. It's like it's meaningless stuff, isn't it? It's just pointless stuff.
Yeah. Well, it is the whole. This is the thing. It's kind of like a multi-layered film, really. I mean, as dull as it will appear to some people. Some people, I can easily see this. Some people will listen to this podcast and go, "Okay, well, that sounds interesting. I'm going to go watch it." And by the end of it, they'll be like, "The fuck was that?"
I think you need to watch this, and I think maybe we all had that moment where we're watching this and going, it is a bit dull, isn't it? And I think you need that moment to then be in the movie. To realise, yes, this is dull. And yes, you are doing this every day. Or you have done this and you recognise this as being dull because you've been there. Welcome to the film, guys. And then you go into it.
Yeah. I mean, it is that thing of you have to kind of break the ice of I'm bored, this is boring, this whole thing is monotonous and tedious, and it's like, that's kind of the point.
Look at the clock that they have on the wall. It's like 15-hour clock.
Yeah, 16 segments to it.
Yeah.
And I kept watching, I got obsessed with the clock because of the way I can see like the second hand, which is on the top in a clock, that goes past the that's interset into the actual main circle. But you never see the hour hand or the minute hand pass. They always get close and it looks like they're going to get stuck. And then the next scene, they're back somewhere else. They're back approaching again. But you never see them pass it.
Yeah.
And it's almost... I'd have to watch it a second time, but I put money on every time it looks like those clock hands are going to get stuck. These are at a point of a little crisis in the story for them.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's both a satire on boring office life, and it's a satire on how someone can do as good as they can do, but if they don't fit in, it doesn't matter. I won't mention where I was working for this particular story, but there was a lady who, shall we say, she didn't fit in with the group that she was working with.
Right.
And she was competent, she was outgoing, she was straightforward, she was nice, she was always pleasant to me. I had never had a problem with her. But because she wasn't, shall we say, quote unquote, one of the lads, she basically kept getting all the shit jobs, essentially the photocopier, checking the photocopier kind of jobs. And she was a fully qualified, person in her field. She'd done graduates. She'd been through the mill. She just her face didn't fit the group she was in, and so therefore she eventually just decided, that's enough, I'm leaving. And it was interesting because as she went to leave, they basically made her redundant.
Oh,
so it was like, you're not quitting, we're firing you. And it's that kind of attitude that I see in this film, with this kind of thing of, yes, was it Orson is a weird guy and nobody else likes him. However, he does something which makes the company a lot of money, gets him noticed, and yet he's still just that bit too weird. Thanks very much for your work. Now fuck off.
Well, the hard work isn't appreciated. Well, it is up until the point that they think it's a bit weird.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's what people will put up with. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, like Cartoon was the perfect example. There was crazy fucking toys on every person's surface. Every person had like toys, dolls. Fucking one person had a strap-on dildo with fucking googly eyes on it. Someone, there was a stand-up fucking Boba Fett by my desk. There was a sort of 6 foot high picture of one of the artists dressed as Goku from fucking Dragon Ball Z. I mean, it was just insane madness. But then you go from that to where I am now, and I sat down on my first day and I took out 3 little pop figures, my 3 Mass Effect pop figures, and my Nostromo hat, and I put it on top of the cupboard, which was sitting right beside my desk. So it's like my desk and directly to my left. First thing the general manager's PA did was, we don't like the lines of the office being broken by toys and frivolous
Jesus
things.
fucking H Christ! Seriously?
Yeah. Seriously, 3 pop figures, a
Don't
Thunderbird.
like the lines.
Yeah, that's it. But she was quite happy when a pile of papers landed because the one of the partners dropped it on top. But my Nostromo hat being on a sort of prop head, which was holding the VR headset that we've got to work. Oh no, that would never do. It's, and it's that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. It's them little things that get you through the day, though. They're the little things of yours.
They're the corner room.
Yeah.
They're the corner room. They're the corner office.
Yeah.
And so eventually, just before COVID, I thought, well, not because of COVID, but I just thought, you know what, fuck it, I've had enough. And I got all these concept art posters, which are on card, and I've got them, and I basically blue tacked them to every single surface on my desk. I had them along the walls. I had like a picture of the Elusive Man from Mass Effect 2. I had them all there. I had a big fucking Normandy against one of the screens. And someone came past and went, "That's a bit unusual." And I went, "Yes, it is." And then like another person came past and went, "Whew, that's a bit bright." I'm like, "Yes, it is." And it was, and I could have sworn out of a sort of floor of about 50 to 60 people, I had about 25 to 30 of them all comment on the fact that I had little A4 pictures blue tacked to a door.
Mm-hmm.
That was unbelievable, standout, amazing, or weird, or strange, or nerdy, whatever you want to say. And then one person came over, and I never forget it because I actually put it on Facebook because that was when I lost my pieces. And he came over and he looked at the pictures and he looked at me and he went, "You're always going on about being in the media, just like this." And he sort of gestured at the pictures. He went, "Just like this." He goes, "It's so boring." And I just turned to him and I said,
"What, your life, you mean, mate?"
No, I just turned around and I said to him, I said, "You spent 20 minutes in a meeting with me talking about the size of air ducts. I know what's boring." And he thought I was having a laugh and he went, "Ha ha ha, that's good." And I just stared at him until he left.
Yep.
And so when I watch this film and there's people coming over going, "We like, look after the floor."
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh God. Oh my God. It just, oh. They're petty little people who want their tiny little moment of power over someone else.
Oh, I know someone like that.
Yeah. See, I oh, sorry.
No, go on.
I see that as the, he brings in the Empire State Building model.
Mm.
It's almost, I'm trying to relate something here in my head. Like the building that he's working in, it goes into the clouds, disappears, and he seems to be quite happy there. And that's one of the first thing he puts on his desk. And then, maybe he aspires to working in the Empire State Building. I don't know. Maybe he did in a former life. I'm not too sure. But then you see the pile of work piling up, and it is scaled next to his Empire State Building, and that is on the other guy's desk, and you just see that scaling up over the top of the Empire State Building, almost as if like, this is way too much work that we need to be doing, or that's way too much stuff on your desk to be doing this sort of thing.
Yeah,
I'm trying to relate something there in my head. Sorry,
it's okay.
it's nearly there, but there is something about towering work and the tower, and it's
Well,
there.
again, it's what he finds comfortable, what he isn't comfortable with. The Empire State Building is perfectly sculpted. It's accurate. It's angled. It's perfect. Everything was built to a certain degree. Then right next to it is Danny Pudi's fucking pile of random junk, just piling up behind it. It's everything he doesn't want. He wants order. He wants things he can understand, things that he can manipulate and handle and deal with.
Yeah.
But he can't deal with chaos.
So is the corner office is his place where he can be the most productive, or is it a safe place for him, or is it both?
It's where order is. That's it. It's his rules. That's the world that is. You notice that he's less socially awkward as well when he's in there. The way he talks to the secretary, I think, changes when they're in that room.
Yeah.
Right? When he talks to, you notice he gets frustrated with Danny Pudo's.
Pudi,
sorry, Danny Pudi's character when he doesn't clean up the papers after he's had the word, and it's because he's not actually talked to him about it. He's gone inside his own head, like we all do when we have an argument with someone. We think about, or we're about to go and see someone and tell them, try and put them to rights about something. You have those conversations in your head. You run the simulation, and the simulation always runs in your favor.
Oh yeah,
right. And that's what is happening with him. That is what that room is. It is the world that makes sense to him.
Yeah. So by that measure, is the film about mental issues, or is it or anxieties, or
There's definitely anxiety in there.
What do you think? What do you think that? I mean, the room is definitely his safe space.
Yeah,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But is it just his safe space, or are we in his head? I mean,
yeah, you are in.
I know. I mean, he goes and stands in that corner.
Or you're in whatever world he takes himself out to. That's it. It's a place that makes sense. It's where all his rules are obeyed. His rules of physics apply here.
Yeah.
And we all have them safe spaces as well.
Yeah.
Whether you know it or not, it could be playing 10 minutes of Candy Crush or a game on your phone or just doom scrolling. That is kind of your safe space where you take yourself away for them few minutes that you can and then return. That is your 5-minute break. You have done your 55 minutes of concentrated work.
But then by that measure, and this is a question to all three of you, if we all recognize it and we all understand it and we all know that idea of a safe space and a point in your head which you can retreat to just to help you get through the day and not basically murder someone with a pencil. Is he actually? Does he actually have an issue?
No, but corporate do.
No. It's. I mean, I don't know if you say issue. It's just this. It's how he processes things. That's it. It's a whole lot of processing going on, but it's not. It's not the standard, what they call the standard. Just sitting there thinking about it. It's that whole thing of getting lost in that other world, taking yourself off somewhere else. I do that. I go off if things start getting too much. I go find somewhere to hide, and I will sit there for 10 minutes playing solitaire because it orders my thoughts. It makes me think about something else. It takes me off that train of thought for a while. I'm figuring out a puzzle.
Yep.
And then I go back to it after that.
What about you then, Nelton? What's your safe space distance runaway?
I'm not too sure. I have a game on my phone where I play a frame of snooker.
Okay.
Sounds silly, but it's a frame of snooker,
silly.
and then I'm back in it. That's all I kind of need, really.
Okay, Jim.
I have a few different ones, really. I do have several sort of silly sort of word games on my phone, which is you kind of you have to concentrate on them. You know what I mean, and it just takes you away from everything. On the PC, it's kind of still got like Quake 3 Arena installed because I need to step out.
Yeah.
Vent. I mean, that's a game that's very, very fast paced. You need fast reaction time. You don't have time to brood or stress or anything. It's a complete disconnect. But equally, going to cook or just going for a walk is just a way of just sort of just pulling yourself out of the cobwebs that build up.
Yeah.
I think there's that. You know how sometimes there's that phrase, I'm going to go and sleep on it. It's like your brain working it out in the background. You give it to the background to work out the issue, and you put the main, the actual consciousness of yourself there goes off to do something else, and it lets the computer at the back there work out the problem. That's what going off and playing these games is, because the consciousness is not good at handling this, but the thing that's just logical, pure logic at the back there, I'll let that deal with it. There's no emotion there at all. There. Stick that at the back, let that work out, let the subconscious do it.
Interesting. It's cool. Right. I mean, okay, so what do we take away from this film? I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, because we've been going for a bit now, and I don't want to. And a lot of it's been therapy session for our individual jobs, to be honest. But what's the takeaway? I mean, do we come away from this film feeling hopeful, elated? Are we happy for him that he's escaped into his mind? Are we sad? I mean, is it a Brazil kind of situation where even though he's basically doomed in the chair, he's escaped to Brazil, to the clouds? Is it that kind of situation, or what? Has work broken him? Is the ultimate takeaway that work is a thankless, soulless job, and you should take your joys where you can?
Maybe because we never see what his home life is like. Maybe that office, that part of his psyche there that he goes to, that is like it really is the only thing he's got, which is why he runs back in to go back to it. And then shuts down completely. Locks the door. That's it. I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm stuck inside my head now. Thank you very much. I like it in here a lot better. I understand what's going on.
I think it's very telling that the last song that plays is "No Surprises" by Radiohead.
I mean, I thought as soon as those notes struck, I thought, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Perfect song to end that. That's well chosen. Glad you could get it. So, you know what I mean? Brilliant.
It's probably 90% of the budget of the film, to be honest.
Quite probably. Yes. I know for me, but by the time I got the end of the film, I was very pleased. Not so much with the outcome, but just kind of like the fact that it leaves you with the question of what does it mean? And it's a satisfying journey to be left with that question, because the film has given you so many possible answers to that question.
It can be very hard.
It's kind of I mean, it's kind of a bleak ending, but kind of for a viewer, if you've gone through it, it's rewarding and uplifting in a weird way, without having a feel-good ending at all, really. But it is that kind of you feel like, you know, the movie's delivered you a unique experience, and that's a rare thing.
Definitely.
Because most movies, even very good movies, it's kind of, by the last reel, you know exactly what's going to happen, because you know, you've seen this story before, you know all the beats, you know.
Yeah, you're just ticking time, aren't you?
Basically, yeah. Whereas this, it keeps it going, I think, right to the end, and then that ending just leaves you, you know what I mean? Right, I want a good talk about this now. Which me and Teresa did, and we both kind of like, well, what a film. That was really good, because it could have been very bleak, but there's enough humour to it and enough satire to balance out the sort of the darker commentary that's still undoubtedly in there. And when you get to the end, I think it is kind of, that's an ending that kind of, I'm not sure what it means, but I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I took away with it, work is shit. No. It is monotonous and pointless. I think in Terminator they said it best, of in 100 years, who's going to care? So take your wins as you can and try and enjoy it as much as you can the way you want to, because the higher ups, they don't see the funny side. They don't get it. They're not doing that. They've done it and they've moved on, and now they're looking down upon you. They're the scumbags that used to nick 10 minutes, and now they know how to nick 10 minutes, and so they'll come down on you going, no, you mustn't nick 10 minutes there. So yeah, I just want to set the world on fire now, but I really do. I really enjoyed this, actually. Even talking about it has made it even more enjoyable, but I did enjoy it.
Cool. Darren?
I think it can be a balancing act to try and get a film where it leaves you asking those questions and enjoying the fact that you are, because where does it strain over the line into laziness, and you're like, well, I didn't get that, that wasn't very satisfying at all. So I think there's a definite, this is skillfully made, where you don't feel like they're making you do the work that they should have done. They're giving you a little mystery for you to think about. And there's no wrong answers in any of this. It's just have fun with this. And I think that's what this does. There are a good few films out there that do that, but you can easily get it wrong. As we've seen with so many films where we're like, what the fuck was that all about? I can't be bothered discussing it.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They have to give you enough, I think. It's yeah.
Can I ask then? Have we found a little gem?
I think so.
I think so. I mean, I will be honest, perfectly honest with you. I thought when I was watching it, I was thinking, I don't like this film. and I'm thinking, why don't I like this film? And then I realised because it was stirring up levels of ennui and hopelessness and crushing, flashbacks of corporate tedium and pettiness and horribleness that made me, still makes me to this day, regret a number of things in my career and my life. And and then once I realised that, I just thought, well, then it is what it is, isn't it? It's done its job. It's a very good film at that, and it's giving me lots of questions to answer and self-analyze. And so, yes, I think we found a gem. But will I ever watch it again? I don't know that I will. The reason I say that is because at the end of it, and this is what I was saying about the takeaway, I came away feeling incredibly sad and dour, and not for the film, but because of how it made me feel.
Yeah,
and how I started attributing it to all these pathetic, horrible, stupid, tedious, ridiculous, unenjoyable, unfulfilling fucking jobs that have literally sucked the joy and the creativity out of me like a fucking hungry vampire at a buffet. And here I am. And I just thought, Christ, if I could just go catatonic and stand in a fucking happy place. There's been plenty of times I think I would. And I don't want to go too much further down that road because I just, we'll go back to the origins of the name of the fucking podcast.
Yeah.
It really did a bit of a number on me by the end.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is great, but it's great for the reasons that I really don't want it to be.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'll ever watch it again because, I think I might try and catch a bus with my teeth if I carry on.
Well, that wasn't my intention. As you know,
I know it wasn't. No.
Blind choice, but
I know it wasn't your intention. I never took anything personally.
No.
I for sure I don't. But it's just sometimes certain films align with certain elements of your own experience, and you get a certain level of empathy for things, and you just go, you're either in for it and enjoy it, or you're in for it and you feel too much about it, or you just recognize things in it and you don't like that. And that's kind of where I was.
Yeah, there's lots in here that I recognise, definitely. Like the people brown nosing constantly, and
no, it's the removal. It's the removal of the joy. That was the thing.
Yeah.
It was the removal of the. Fuck it. I mean, all I ever want to do is make stuff and make people go, I like that. It's cool, and enjoy it. And then I enjoy it, and I enjoy being recognized for it. I know I'm a narcissist.
Yep.
And people liking the stuff I do, and me being challenged creatively to make it. But that was 15, 20 years ago. And then you come back to a place where they look at you because you stuck a poster on a fucking door.
Yep.
And it's just like, what the fuck am I doing? Anyway. So there you go. That's the phrase for this week. If anyone feels like it. Catch a bus with my teeth.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Fucking, I'm going to stick no surprises on the end of this fucking podcast. I don't care. It's not going on YouTube this week. It's going to get demonetized. Right. So, unless anyone's got anything else they'd like to add to that.
No, I think I'm done. I flipping enjoyed it.
What's the rules on late night drinking? Anyway, so we'll leave it there. If anybody else has got any thoughts, if they feel like we've missed anything, or would like to raise certain points or anything that we've brought up that they want to raise, or if someone just wants to give me a job where I don't have to do something like be excited about animating a dog walking into a logo, then by all means get in contact with us either via the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/the Black Dog Podcast, or send us in some feedback, which is feedback@blackdogpodcast.com, or via email, and we'll read it out next week. Right, Jim.
Yes.
Over to you, sir. It's your choice this week. What movie will be coming to next week? And if you say Brazil, I'm going to just literally go outside and hang myself.
No, thankfully not. No. I was inspired by Elton's blind pick. Take a chance. I saw a film has just come onto Amazon Prime, and I thought, I've not seen that. Why have I not seen that? It stars Oscar Isaacs.
All right.
It's a Coen Brothers film.
Right.
It's a black comedy set in the 1960s in the New York folk scene, and it's called Inside Llewellyn Davis.
Okay. Inside Llewellyn Davis. Now, I have heard of this. I have seen trailers for this, but I have not seen this. Jim, Darren, have you seen this or heard of this?
Okay. Is this the one on the poster where he's carrying the cat?
Yes.
Ah, right, yeah. I've seen the poster for it. I've kind of heard of it.
Elton?
Nope, never heard of it, never seen it.
Okay. So, Inside Llewellyn Davis on Amazon Prime. That's quite the left turn as well, I think.
Cool. I
Cool.
like Coen Brothers movie. Why have I not seen this one? I don't...
Nice.
So time to rectify that. And so might be a bit of a gamble, but we will see.
Well, welcome
we're
to
all
the
up for
gambles.
months.
Yes, exactly. Gambling dogs.
Labrook month.
Labrook month. Yeah, yeah, not Labradors, Labrooks. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, fantastic. So, Inside Llewellyn Davis, we will be doing that film next week when we return on Tuesday the 30th. After which we will be having a break for a week because I'm away. I'm getting some well-deserved break. Yeah, right. So let's move on to Pimp's Corner. Thank you very much for that, Jim. We will check it out. It's on Amazon Prime, right?
It is, yes. Just come on, literally.
Brilliant. Oh, fantastic. Okay. Fresh off the rack, eh? Cool. Well, in which case, let's just go over to Pimp's Corner and, we'll stick with you, Jim. What's happening over at hypnagoria.com?
This week I've just released another chapter in my Kaiju History series. And there'll be another monster story from Sir Arthur Conan Doyle this weekend.
Brilliant. And that's over at hypnagoria.com.
It is indeed.
Fantastic. And what about Rogue 2 Media? What's happening over there, Elton?
We're talking about cars going around in circles on the Grand Prix podcast and things that go bang on the Band of Brothers podcast.
I thought you were going to say you started up a Second Amendment podcast. Sorry. A little bit of politics there. What? Things that go bang. Things that make you go AR-15. Right. Sorry, you can tell suddenly the wheels have come off. Darren, are you that's over at rogue2media.com, isn't it?
Yes, it is, yes.
Brilliant. And Darren, anything?
No. Just quite a big sort of cinema trip this week.
Me too.
Yep, indeed. We shall compare notes. Yes, we shall.
Yep, life is a mystery. Yeah. We'll be on that, I'm sure. Yeah, nothing from me. I mean, if the last 10 minutes of this podcast have taught you, I'm not doing anything much anymore. Oh,
Maybe you
Jesus.
should
Maybe I should.
open that Instagram again.
God almighty. What, so I can train Mark Zuckerberg's stuff on my artwork?
Yep.
Good work. Yes, maybe I should.
I am Metcalf AI. I am producing art. Honest, governor. It's honest art.
I don't know.
Not just
I don't
made
know
up by a computer.
Oh, God. Anyway. Right. Well, that's it. So, thank you very much for listening, everyone. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Alton.
No problem.
And thank you all for listening. Thank you for sticking with this one. It's been a long old therapy session, this one. But thanks for sticking with us. And yes, we will see you all next week for Inside Llewellyn Davis, which I am assured has nothing to do with a colonoscopy.
I hope not, anyway.
So, until then, take care, lie in a darkened room, and listen to the next 3 minutes, which are definitely going to get us demonetized and possibly sued. Tatty bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ta-da.
Hello, it's me again on the end. I thought I'd try and put no surprises on this podcast. Apparently you can't upload it. YouTube and various other people get very cross. So far, it seems like about 30 seconds can get away with it, because it's illustrative. So apologies, it wasn't 3 minutes. Sorry if your darkened room has been ruined. Your darkened room moment has been ruined. Guess that kind of sums up everything, really, doesn't it? And this is why we can't have nice things. Anyway. Tatty bye, everyone. See you next week.